Crew of Artemis 2 is on to the next big challenge up in space. CBS's Mark Strassman reports.
Great flying with you, Houston.
Late last night, Artemis 2 pilot Victor Glover took manual control for the first time. Just the beginning of the crew's intense, highly scheduled 24 hours of systems testing and engine firing.
The testing's to make sure it's up for the task to head to the moon, where it will not land, but instead loop around it to get a good look at the far side. In a primetime address, President Trump claimed the war in Iran is nearly over.
The president is facing sagging poll numbers. He's well aware that this war is not popular. And so this really was an effort by the president to reassure Americans that there was a finish line, but without specifics about what has to be done before he can really pull the U.S. out. There are more questions this morning about his plan.
CBS's Weijia Zhang tells us he warned there could be more strikes in the coming weeks. While the war is causing gas prices to soar, Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy says filling up the tank is painful.
I don't expect Americans are going to be real happy with gas prices this high if they persist into the summer. And that's where it could become a political liability for the Trump administration.
Gas has hit $4 a gallon for the first time since August 2022. The partial government shutdown may soon be over. CBS's Linda Kenyon reports President Trump plans to sign an executive order today to pay all DHS workers.
In a post on social media, President Trump said he will sign the order to fund the agency, which includes the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Coast Guard. The move comes as Congress has been unable to reach a deal on funding the Department of Homeland Security, and as lawmakers remain out of town for the Easter break. Previously, the president signed an executive order to pay TSA agents, who are also part of Homeland Security. The shutdown of the department follows demands for operational changes to ICE after the deaths of 2 American citizens in Minneapolis.
You ready to throw in the work towel and retire on a beach somewhere?
Northwestern Mutual asked thousands of people how much money they think they will need in retirement. The magic number was $1.46 million, up from $1.26 million last year due to concerns about inflation. A recent NerdWallet poll found only 5% of Americans with retirement accounts have socked away at least $1 million. 9% have saved $500,000.
That's CBS's Michael Wallace with the not so encouraging news. And with that, your stocks are on a ride in the red today. The Dow right now is down 117 points. NASDAQ off 29. This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
A disturbing find on a beach near Mukilteo. We'll tell you what that is. But first, we are going to check in with KIRO Radio real-time traffic. And we are having a fairly average morning for a Thursday, which means, not awful, but not easy either. Let's start with I-5 northbound. We're stacked up from about Boeing Field getting into Seattle, and that's putting a lot of pressure on alternate routes, including the West Seattle Bridge, which is tough all the way back into West Seattle. That merge is going to take you at least 5 to 10 extra minutes getting out of West Seattle, which is always a problem. It's going to take you 10 minutes extra on either end of I-5 to get into downtown Seattle. I-5 southbound is tough from about 145th getting into the Ship Canal area, and it looks like we do have a crash at North 130th that is making things extra difficult. 405 stacks up through the express lanes and then is slow all the way through the Kennydale Hill and then through that I-90 interchange where you see some slowing. But the lake bridges look clear, and you're pretty good in the north end and the south end. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows plus $1,000 off whole home projects. 18 months, no payments, no interest. Ends April 15th. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Jillian Raftery. A multi-agency team is investigating a shooting involving at least one Snohomish County deputy that led to the death of a man. It happened on East Shore Drive in Martha Lake, east of Linwood, Wednesday evening. Investigators say deputies were responding to some sort of disturbance and that their reports say a man had a gun, but it's not clear exactly what led up to shots being fired. Ultimately, that one man did die. Mukilteo police are leading the investigation to avoid a conflict of interest. And in Skagit County, animal control needs your help as they investigate a disturbing find. A dozen canines washed up along the shore near Guaymas Island. Fire Chief Olivia Cole says they don't know if the animals are dogs or coyotes at this point, but they're trying to figure out exactly what happened.
Fighting back tears and anger and all of the above. It's there's a diabolical person out there for sure that we need to find what's going on.
She tells KIRO 7 TV anyone with information should call the Skagit County Sheriff's Office. More law enforcement agencies are disabling their automatic license plate reader systems. A new state law bans using them near places like schools and hospitals. The Spokane County Sheriff and the Richland Police Department now join the Pierce County Sheriff in turning off their ALPR cameras mounted on patrol cars. They say there's no way to comply with the law while their deputies are on the move. Now we're going to check your weather forecast. We're showing showers and sun for today, but clearing throughout the day on Friday and Saturday. High of 53 today. It's 44 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Appreciate y'all listening to the Gee and Ursula Show. It means the world to you, or to me. Good morning, Ursula.
And to you as well.
Yeah.
It means the world to all of us.
Ursula, look.
We're choosing joy today.
Today is a little bit of rain, but I'm seeing it. It looks like that weather going to start getting better for the weekend, Ursula.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. When I hear 60s and getting close to 70 degrees on Monday, I'm in a good mood.
Same.
Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is open for all of you. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
All right, let's get to it. Ursula's top stories of the day brought to you by Pitter Gas Law.
Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank has apparently been targeting a newspaper reporter in Tacoma because he didn't like what that journalist did in terms of scrutinizing his social media habits. According to an editorial in the News Tribune, Swank has sent more than 70 emails to this one reporter since January, not to answer questions, but to track his own work hours and to take shots at this journalist, asking things like, I'm up, working, are you? These are actual quotes from these emails. Good night, sleep tight, we'll keep the county safe. Another one, I'm sure you're still tucked in bed, sleeping soundly. And at one point, the sheriff said, maybe I'll send you a picture while on vacation. And so, this all started after this reporter began digging into how much time the sheriff spends on social media, which this sheriff is known to spend a lot of time on social media.
Sure.
And it's a fair question for any elected law enforcement leader. And the funny thing is, the final story actually found that Keith Swank wasn't overdoing it online. But that didn't matter. The emails kept coming, dozens of them, dripping with sarcasm, according to the TNT. And the paper calls this behavior beyond inappropriate for someone in charge of public safety.
Right. And we are, at 9:30, we're going to have on the journalist that wrote this in the Tacoma News Tribune. He'll join us at 9:30. Ursula, when you're the sheriff, right, and you're the top person in law enforcement representing Pierce County, you are setting the tone for an entire community. You're representing law enforcement. You're representing Pierce County. More importantly, like when you have a platform like that, you're representing humanity. You know, this does not shock me. It also doesn't shock me because I know firsthand, and I have information where his wife actually sends stuff to media folks as well.
For what reason?
For some of these reasons right here, right?
Like intimidation or?
No, not necessarily. I mean, however you take it.
Yeah.
But it's not normal for public officials to do this, and it's for sure not normal when their significant other sends that out as well.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say this. I'll leave it at this. It's not normal. It's not leadership. Most people, a lot of people in Pierce County know that it isn't leadership. And Pierce County deserves better. Law enforcement deserves better. Humanity deserves better.
For sure. Now, it was the TNT opinion editor who wrote this up and said, if this were a regular citizen, they might consider something like a restraining order. But because he is the elected sheriff of Pierce County, his own department would be the one likely investigating, of course, which would get really messy and which would raise obvious conflict of interest issues. And the other issue is that this likely doesn't meet the legal bar for criminal harassment. But you can't tell me. I mean, and we know from our own personal experience that Keith Swank got on our social media and basically was calling us dumb.
Right.
Because he didn't like the criticism. Mm-hmm. I mean, don't go into this elected office if you can't stand the heat. Mm-hmm. And if you don't like someone scrutinizing your social media behavior, I think what he's doing is a way beyond and would be very troublesome for me if I lived in Pierce County. But this is a great segue to this next story because Governor Bob Ferguson has signed a new law that tightens the rules for law enforcement leaders across the state. And at the center of it, we've talked about this on the show, G, is that if you lose your certification as a police officer, you lose your job, even if you are an elected sheriff, or you can lose your job. Mm-hmm. And before now, that wasn't clearly the case. But the law requires anyone leading a police agency to meet basic standards that would include at least 5 years of law enforcement experience, a background check, and certification through the state's Criminal Justice Training Commission. But the real controversy in all of this is that if that certification would get revoked because of misconduct or serious violations, that sheriff could be removed. And supporters are saying, this closes a loophole and holds leaders to the same standards as rank and file officers. But many sheriffs around the state have spoken out against this. The most vocal one, perhaps, has been Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank.
They have no authority over me. They can say whatever they want to say. They can decertify me. I'm not going to go up and speak to them and tell them that trans women are men, and I stand by that, and they don't like it, and they're going to throw me out because it's hate speech. No, I'm not even going to go talk to them. I'm not going to entertain it. They can do whatever they want to do, and they can send me a letter in the mail, and they can send whomever to remove me from office. They're going to have to come down and do it by force. I'm not leaving. I've been elected, and I'm standing firm.
And I also want to point out that State Senator John Lovick, longtime State Patrol trooper, someone who has been on the show many times, he was the sponsor of this bill, but it was also written along with a former Seattle judge who turned into a police accountability expert. And she is saying that this bill was years in the making and is needed to protect the rule of law.
Yeah. So here's the thing about this right here. Number one, I believe in my heart that this came about because of Keith Swank. Hence the reason you probably used audio from Keith Swank. While I kind of agree with it, I don't agree that it should be specific to sheriffs. I think if you're going to do that, you need to have it more broad. Recently, Washington State House Majority Leader Joe Fitz admitted to being intoxicated during a committee hearing on budget legislation, February 25th, 2026. Question, should there be something in place to remove Joe Fitz? So the same energy that is applied to the sheriff. Like, I'm not saying I disagree. I'm just saying we need to make it more broad for other public officials. That's all I'm saying. And I think that this energy was because of Swank. Cool. Now that Majority Leader Joe Fitz admits to being intoxicated, there should be more energy the next legislation to say, hey, you know what? Yeah. I heard G. Scott talking about this, and he kind of makes a point that it shouldn't just be for sheriffs. It should be for public officials, especially those elected. So here's another one.
Yeah, what are the ramifications for that lawmaker?
Nothing.
By the way? Yeah. Okay, I want to point out one other thing, though, because there is a lot that was said about, what this would do, and this would just be willy-nilly that they would be removing sheriffs. And the reality is decertification is rare. It takes a lot of time. Since 2021, there's only been a handful of cases that have even made it to this panel, this hearing panel.
Right.
And this panel, this Criminal Justice Training Commission, is a state oversight body. It's made up of 21 different members. They include police officers. They include corrections officials, prosecutors, plaintiffs' attorneys, relatives of people affected by police use of force. And they're selected to fill specific roles outlined in state law rather than serving as explicitly partisan officials. So that's one thing. The other thing is, in reality, I mean, if you do have a rogue, let's say, sheriff, and you can say, well, you know, he or she was elected, so, you know, tough, because you have to wait until you can vote him out. Well, you're going to now wait 4 years to vote him out?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I know it's highly controversial, but in my opinion, and it's not just because of Keith Swank, I think that this is a great move. Okay, well, let's move on to the CHOP update.
Okay.
The summer of love that keeps on giving, unfortunately, because a judge has just shut the door on the city of Seattle's attempt to undo one of the most significant verdicts in its history. A King County Superior Court judge has now upheld that more than $30 million jury award to the family of Antonio Mays Jr., that is the 16-year-old who was shot and killed inside the CHOP zone back in June of 2020. Now, the city tried to fight it, arguing everything from how the jury reached its decision to whether the city was actually even responsible, but the judge rejected all of it, every post-trial motion, so the verdict stands. And the case centers on what happened after this teen was shot. Attorneys for his family argued that his injuries were survivable. He could have lived, but the absence of police and emergency response inside the CHOP zone delayed care for him, and ultimately that was what cost him his life. And a judge agreed after nearly 2 weeks of deliberation. So now the court is backing the jury's conclusion. The city says, well, we're still going to potentially appeal. What do you say?
Give them their money in cash. I'm glad this judge upheld it. Can we all agree on something? And here's the interesting thing. The people that were in leadership in the city of Seattle then would agree with what I'm going to say. The leadership was terrible. It was awful. It was trash. It was garbage. It's a whole lot of more adjectives that I don't have time to speak out on. Back in 2020, when the East Precinct was abandoned, the East Precinct with SPD, when City Hall doors were left unlocked, when an entire area was allowed to be occupied, and the mayor said, it's the summer of love.
And we still don't have those text messages.
You knew exactly where I was going. You had the mayor, the police chief, and the fire chief have some text messages that we will never know about. And the fact that the city of Seattle keeps trying to fight, what you fighting for? The leadership was awful. And there's nobody listening right now that would agree with you, including the judge. It was awful then. There was a lot of people trying to tell you, Ursula, I remember we went down there. We said, what is going on? Watching people get ready to go to their own condo in the neighborhoods, being stopped by civilians, making them check their IDs. What in the world were we living through? And then had the audacity to have a city council during that time say things like, defund the police. You mean to tell me you mean to tell me City of Seattle got sued for $30 million?
Yeah, they're lucky it was only $30 million. Actually, I think I heard someone maybe on our air, legal expert who was saying they're lucky it was only $30 million. Yeah, so I think the city just needs to give up on that. That was the most expensive summer of love. That was a summer of big fat expenses for city taxpayers and just awful leadership.
4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And lift off. The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon.
Did you all see that yesterday? It was a spectacular launch. Artemis 2 blasting into orbit and putting humans on a path back to the moon for the first time since the Apollo program over 50 years ago.
It was an amazing ride uphill.
The crew of Artemis 2 now in orbit.
We forgot how beautiful it is to look down on Earth.
Hours after a successful launch from Florida's Kennedy Space Center.
Booster ignition. And liftoff.
Roughly 9 million pounds of thrust propelled the 4-person team on NASA's first manned moon mission in more than 50 years, shaking the nearby CBS News set and igniting cheers from crowds who came to watch history in the making.
It was the coolest thing I've seen ever.
Christian Benavides, CBS News at the Kennedy Space Center.
I could watch that over and over and over again. It was incredible.
Yeah.
I made a point of getting to a TV to be able to watch it. I envy the people who were able to see it much more up close. I have the greatest admiration for the 4 crew members who are on the Artemis 2. But did you hear that shortly after reaching orbit, the toilet broke?
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's a crappy situation.
Yeah, it is. So the crew had to use the crews had to use backup bags while Mission Control talked them through fixing the onboard system. But good news this morning, it is now working again. They had
to use what?
Backup bags. You've got to have a backup for everything when you're in space.
Now, what kind of colloquialism is that? Are you talking about physical bags?
Where is it going to go? Where's it going to go? But okay, let's talk about the important stuff because this is
That's pretty important.
Yeah, it is. It is. Mm-hmm. But this is a full dress rehearsal for landing on the moon again.
Right.
And so in case you're wondering, like, are they going to land on the moon this time? No. But they're testing everything. The Orion spacecraft, navigation, life support, and yes, the toilet.
Yeah.
They got to work on that.
Okay.
But before NASA puts astronauts on the moon again, which is hopefully soon, they need to prove that they can get there and back without any issues.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to get stuck up there.
So full transparency.
Yeah. You're usually an astronaut or a nerd about this.
Funny you say that.
Yeah.
You called it. So full transparency, up until this morning, I still hadn't checked things out. I just been really fixated and focused on other things. So this morning, I went down rabbit holes finally with this. And man, did it feel good to be excited. It was just such a highlight. It's a beautiful thing. Just hearing about their stories, how they come together, and just I'm all hyped for it. So you're right. I wasn't hyped up at first because I was doing some other stuff. But now, oh yeah. And by the way, I called him Fitz. It is Joe Fitzgibbon.
Yes.
I apologize for butchering your name, good brother. Joe Fitzgibbon.
Yes. Thank you for that correction.
Yeah.
Okay, did you see, though, that Artemis 3 is the mission that's expected to land astronauts, including the first woman on the moon?
Okay. It's a whole lot of first everything.
Yes, because there's a first black astronaut on Artemis 2.
Okay.
So that's really cool. So this is historic.
Yes, it will be.
Don't forget the Canadian.
Oh, then there's a Canadian, too. There's a Canadian,
Sorry.
Sorry.
But, of course, I mean, this is not just about going to the moon. Yeah. It's about going to Mars. And
yeah. That's good. That's good.
I said, I'm choosing joy today.
Choose it. Come on. I need that joy. Speaking of joy, hey, good morning to you, Nick.
Morning.
Can I get some yacht rock today?
Again? Okay.
Yeah, I want some yacht rock, man. Hey, 9:47, world famous Would You Rather, and it's spelled with a few R's. That's going to be at 9:47. But coming up at 9:33, next, Peter Gallagher from the Tacoma News Tribune will join to show. He's going to talk about some of those emails that came from the Pierce County Sheriff. We'll do all that next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hand
Thunder, JSN.
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber, connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Owie, wowie!
What's with the
water heater's worn out?
Way less hot water?
Takes a lot longer, too.
Sounds like a goner.
Worst of all,
what?
Wasn't planning on it.
We can help.
Apollo Plumbing.
Ready right now to get you
in hot water.
Same day.
Not this day. My budget.
How about with easy payments?
How much easy?
Around $50 a month with approved credit.
A new water heater?
50 gallons of 100% hot water delight.
For about $50 a month.
51, 52 to be precise.
And you can do it
today, if that's what you need.
Is it ever?
Apollo installs new ones with code upgrades.
Can't beat that.
Actually, I can.
What?
Your same-day water heater replacement includes Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which means?
Apollo Plumbing covers your new water heater for life.
You mean should it ever wear out?
Apollo Plumbing replaces it free.
And if it needs service?
Service is included for our A-list members.
Wow!
Your new water heater is ready
right now
at ApolloPlumbing.com.
Ever wonder how much energy it takes to power your life? Streaming shows, running appliances, even using AI to plan your next trip?
A lot, and it's growing fast.
So we need more energy, and it has to be clean and reliable.
Exactly. That's why Energy Northwest is exploring new ways to keep power flowing sustainably to meet the rising demand.
All this new technology is exciting, but we need the energy to keep up.
And Energy Northwest is making it happen.
Where do I learn more?
Energy-Northwest.com.
Energy Northwest, powering our clean energy future.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Aetna was there for me as I was going through a rough medical patch this year. I had peace of mind, which helped with my healing.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with the latest in online tools for easier access to healthcare. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
You know the one question that guys hate to have asked of them by their wives, Nick?
I can take a good guess.
I know you know 100 of them. This is the worst one. Do these jeans make my butt look big?
Whoa.
Can't answer that one, right? What I've noticed is whenever you ask me questions like that, I just simply say, oh, I don't know. What do the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic say?
Well, the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic would tell me that my butt looks great in those jeans now that my hormones are balanced.
What'd they do? Did they give you something to bring your weight down?
No, just a result of having my hormones balanced caused me to lose weight. Who would have known? I had no idea that would be a result of it.
So that's good. So the answer is you look great. You're beautiful.
I feel great. I look great.
Yeah.
And I know it.
I've also noticed that your testosterone makes you a little feistier than you normally are, as my beautiful Greek wife.
I might be small, but I have a loud bark.
Yes, you do. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Listen, every day across Washington, kids stay after school giving their all for sports and activities, many on empty stomachs. That's a problem. Food insecurity in our state is at crisis levels, and it's hurting learning and performance. Safeway and Champions of Change Foundation are stepping up with Nourishing Champions, providing grants to schools for after-school meal programs. Schools don't wait. Applications close April 8th. That's April 8th. Go to championsofchangefoundation.org and click Nourishing Champions.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. We're getting reports that Iran has launched another attack on Amazon cloud computing centers in Bahrain. This is coming from Iran state media and reported by Al Jazeera and Reuters, but we have not been able to independently confirm it. Iran threatened over the last few days it would target major U.S. businesses in the Middle East like Boeing, Microsoft, and Amazon, and said staff should evacuate any facilities there. We're working to get more information, and we'll bring it to you when we have it. Meanwhile, Iran responds to President Donald Trump's speech from last night. CBS correspondent Holly Williams has the latest.
Iran has issued what seems to be a direct response to President Trump's address to the nation last night, and it is typically fiery. A spokesman for Iran's military command said in a statement addressing the U.S. and Israel this morning, quote, "This war will continue until you experience humiliation, permanent regret, and inevitable surrender."
State media also claims their missile systems are intact. Markets opened sharply this morning, the S&P 500 sinking 1.7% and the Dow Jones dropping 997 points. CBS financial analyst Jill Schlesinger.
We feel pessimistic. We feel scared. We just had this inflationary surge in 2022. Are we going back there? These are the emotional aspects that can actually impact not just what we do at the pump, but how we feel about the economy and our actions otherwise.
Diesel prices are pushing past records in Washington state. The average is now $6.71, according to AAA. The previous average in Washington had been set in 2022 during the beginning of the Russia-Ukraine war, and the average for unleaded is up 6 cents in just a week to $5.36. Spokane Sheriff's deputies will be in Seattle to provide support for the World Cup this summer. Undersheriff Kevin Ritchie told council members over in Spokane, they're getting $700,000 in federal grant funding to do it.
One of my favorite things to do is to come ask the board to accept free money. So that's what I'm here to do today.
The grant will support a range of units, including a robot for explosive reconnaissance and air support using the sheriff's office helicopter. Now we're going to check your drive, and we are still a little bit of a struggle on our north-south routes, especially Linwood to Bellevue, 51 minutes on 405. Linwood to Seattle, 42 minutes on I-5, and it looks like we might have cleared a collision that was making that even worse near Haller Lake. So that's a little bit of a good news. And the other good news is that the lake bridges are fairly clear, and the West Seattle Bridge merge issue to I-5 is better, but Federal Way to Seattle is still 33 minutes, even with nothing blocking. Renton to Bellevue is 28 minutes. We've still got that stack up traffic through the S-curves. It does moderate through Kennydale Hill, but it is still a little bit slow. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio. We are going to have some lingering showers today, but also some sun breaks, high of 53 tomorrow. A few sprinkles, but more cloudy skies than not. 44 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Back to the Gee and Ursula Show. We were expecting a guest here, and we were having a tough time connecting. So I wanted to bring up actually another story that we didn't get to in our top stories, Gee. And that is, we've been talking a lot about the license plate reader cameras, the flock cameras. So after months of controversy, some of them now are coming back online in parts of Western Washington, including in the city of Stanwood. They say they plan to reactivate their flock safety cameras this month now that this new law has taken effect. It sounds like Spokane is doing the same. These cameras use AI to scan and track license plates, helping police find stolen cars and missing people. Supporters call them a force multiplier, but critics call them a surveillance tool. And last year, actually, Stanwood turned its cameras off after a public records request for the footage, and then a judge later ruled that the footage had to be made public. Well, now this new law, just signed this week, makes that footage exempt from public disclosure, but does add guardrails. So one of the things that they're saying now with this new law is that the data can only be kept for 21 days. It cannot be shared with federal agencies. And again, this is the part that you and I were talking about yesterday. It cannot be used near places like schools or healthcare facilities. But the ACLU says this doesn't go far enough. They're saying that this kind of technology can still be misused, especially when it comes to vulnerable communities. You and I have landed on the same page on this, where we were saying, and controversially, apparently, according to the text line, where we were saying, hey, we would rather have more safety and be okay with giving up some of our privacy.
Yeah. But by the way, just so we're clear, I'm okay agreeing and disagreeing about this topic. This feels like normal topics. We're not arguing about other things. But this is where I land on this. First of all, I'm glad that they came back with guardrails and not being used for immigration purposes and all of those things. So yes, there's that. However, it's like when Omari was on our show, and one of the things that we talked about, Ursula, is that we always hear from the people that are afraid of crime, but we barely hear from the people that are actually impacted by crime.
Just real quick, if you could explain who Omari is.
Omari Salisbury from Converge Media. He was on. And the reason why I bring that up is because, look, I don't know a lot of people personally that's like, yeah, man, got to get rid of these cameras. Because there's a lot of people that I know personally that are like, keep those cameras up. I want solving of crimes. I want this to happen. And so what I feel like what happens is you got to, I apologize for this, y'all, but we got people that do research papers and term papers and test out their thesis, right? And if you ask them like, oh, I just want to get rid of these cameras. I don't want these cameras. Hey, Billy, where you live? Where do you live? Because a lot of times it's the people that live in amazing neighborhoods that are telling people you don't want those cameras. Now, again, I do agree that it should not be used for the immigration purposes. It should not be abused.
How do you splice that? And that's the issue that a lot of people have. And I will say that they were coming on to our text line, and I hear you what you're saying, that it sounds good as a concept, but bottom line, people want to be safe. I think people want to be safe without giving up all their privacy. I would put myself in that category, but I'd be willing to give up a lot of my privacy if it means that, for example, did you see that video of the guy at the Northgate light rail station?
Yes, I did.
Where it was the CCTV cameras
that caught that.
That caught that and that allowed police to actually zero in on the suspect.
Right.
But someone tried to shove someone onto the line, the rail line, as a train was coming.
Right.
I mean, that was caught on camera. Thank God.
And that's what I'm saying, Ursula. Look, again, everybody, I understand the privacy part. But when we are talking about privacy outside of the home, who are we talking about? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you live in my neighborhood, Ursula, if you live in my neighborhood, I have you on camera every single day. Every time. I know when Billy leaves. I know when Becky leaves. I got your whole schedule on my camera. And guess what? Vice versa. They have me on their camera. So, again, now, I understand, like, hey, but I'm not using that to harm someone. I'm not using that for immigration purposes. I'm not using it. But I can tell you this.
the same people that are saying get rid of the cameras, if something were to happen to their loved ones, I promise you they would wish that there was a camera. I have yet to see someone say, hey, something happened to my loved one, but I believe in privacy, so please don't use the cameras to help me out.
Well, even in the case of Savannah Guthrie's mom, who has been missing, they're asking for cameras and they're asking for video. And I mean, it is such a crucial part of investigations. And so, yes, I
just, you guys have known me for 6 years now. You know that if I had an overwhelming amount of people that live in some of the neighborhoods, right, that are, it's a little rough, I would come into you and I would tell you, like, yes, a lot of people that I talk to want to get rid of the cameras. I would say that. You guys know that I would. But the fact that I'm not, what does that tell you?
Yeah. That people are much more concerned about public safety. The other thing I wanted to bring up is with this law, I mean, there's still ways. I mean, so it says, I think they're trying to find a happy medium. Mm-hmm. I bet it gets tweaked a little bit more. But you were pointing out something correct. It's like, okay, you don't want to use them near schools. But if something were to happen near a school, like a kid gets snatched,
they don't want to use them.
Like,
they don't want to use them near schools. They don't want to use them near churches. So
healthcare facilities.
So okay, when I hear that, when you hear that, when you say, okay, healthcare facilities, schools, churches, if we hear that, what do you think a criminal hears? A criminal hears,
these are the places I need to go.
These are the places that I need to go. Huh?
I want to get someone to argue against our points. Text us, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
All right, let's get to the world famous game, Ursula. Coming up next, Would You Rather? Gee and Ursula.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that could make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right, tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Charlie Harger here. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 206-210-1350. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
How would you like to finally lose all those unwanted pounds quickly without spending thousands on painful injections or prescriptions? Hi, it's Donna Simpson, health and wellness expert. You probably know someone that is using Ozempic, the hottest diet craze in the country. Everyone knows about this prescription injection. Celebs use it to look their best. The problem is most of us can't afford Ozempic, and these injections can be so uncomfortable. Now you can lose the weight just as easily, but with no needles, no expensive prices, no side effects, and no worries. You need to try Lozempic, a new miracle weight loss breakthrough that performs so well it's been called nature's Ozempic. Lozempic is an easy-to-take diet pill now available without a prescription, being used by thousands to get rid of those unwanted pounds. So call now and find out how to get a free bottle.
To find out how to get your free bottle of Lozempic, call 800-631-7101, 800-631-7101. Free bottles are limited, so call 800-631-7101. 800-631-7101. That's 800-631-7101.
Families across Western Washington voted Aegis Living Best Senior Living Community, and Seniorly ranked them #1 in America. See why. Schedule a tour today at aegisliving.com/KIRO and get a special take-home gift. Aegis Living. This must be the place.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of fella who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You didn't work hard to watch your retirement unravel. You saved, you sacrificed, you built something meaningful for yourself and for your family. Hi, I'm elder law attorney Rajiv Nagaich. I've seen what happens when unexpected health events collide with traditional retirement plans. Savings that took decades to build drains away faster than anyone expected. At LifePoint Law, we help you build a life plan to help you protect your assets and way of life. If you are retired or thinking about retiring, now is the time to double-check your retirement plan.
Retirement doesn't have to feel like a gamble. With straightforward planning and clear answers, LifePoint Law replaces fear with clarity, but only if you start now. Attend the next seminar. This Saturday in Bothell, April 7th in Bremerton, the 9th in Olympia, or the 11th in Federal Way. Seats are limited. Sign up now at lifepointlaw.com. Visit lifepointlaw.com.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Appreciate you all hanging out with us today. We do have another guest here coming on the show today at 10 o'clock. Todd Myers from the Washington Policy Center. Question, what's up with that PSE bill? Has it been going up?
He's going to help us try to save some money.
Yes, because I don't know if you guys know this. PSE is looking to add $51 a month to your electric bill come 2029. Now, some of you guys got it. You know, like, hey, geez, no big deal. $51 is nothing. Okay. For the people that don't got it, Todd Myers is going to join us to help us with that topic.
Well, hey, by the way, today, went to Subway. Since when was a 6-inch sandwich $13?
Since Subway relied on Jared.
Okay, wait.
Y'all know what happened to Jared,
other
right?
thing. Yeah, one other thing. Our guest who was supposed to join us at 9:30, he's going to join us at 11. So
Okay.
the News Tribune reporter who was getting all of those emails from the Pierce County Sheriff will join us at 11.
Okay. All right. World famous game. Would you rather? I don't have news bosses open, so I don't have the music. Here we go. Would you rather vacation on a private island with no Wi-Fi, or in the middle of Times Square with perfect Wi-Fi?
Oh, it's so easy. Get me on that island. Get me on that island. I think I would be so well served to have zero Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like this is so easy for me. I'd rather be in the middle of Times Square with Wi-Fi.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not making
Why?
it up.
It's because
You
Now,
thrive in chaos.
No,
especially in the middle of Times Square.
I don't think I personally would be able to enjoy myself. Let me be on that private island with Wi-Fi.
Okay, but that wasn't one of your options.
I know. That's why I said, so in that case,
So you would
I
take
can't.
Times
I would
Square.
take
Oh,
Times
heck
Square
no.
with perfect Wi-Fi.
You couldn't just be unplugged,
Nope.
like relaxing on the beach. I think that's something else deeper that you got to unpack. You can't just be unplugged on the beach. You got to know what's
that is
happening.
deep.
Yeah, it is deep.
Like even let's say you're like with like everyone, like all your closest friends and family. Like there's no one you really have to keep up with. You're all on the island.
Yeah, I don't like
Then,
it. I don't like enough people. even friends and family. I do not like y'all enough. You know?
Oh my God.
There is something to be said about being unplugged.
I know. And like most of y'all put me
You
on the
get
island.
used to it after a day.
Okay, but let's get deeper into when you say middle of Times Square, are we talking like literally standing in the middle of Times Square with all those lights,
all the
and
lights
music
and the
people
billboards.
and
Yes,
the trash?
yes.
That gets old. Just like
Yes.
Vegas gets old, that gets old after 2 or 3 days.
Would you rather fly first class for free or stay in a 5-star hotel for free? This is easy. This is easy.
Oh, I'm going with first class because a 5-star hotel I could afford. First class, that's out of pocket. That's just too much.
Okay. Sophia?
I was gonna say hotel because like if I have a really cruddy flight, I can just crash in luxury.
It's 5-star hotel. I'm
Okay,
staying in a
hold
5-star
on.
hotel
But are you
every day of the
talking
week.
one night? Just one night?
Just your vacation.
Your whole vacation at the 5-star hotel? No, I just did that. I sat in coach, even middle seat, on a 14-hour flight.
Yeah, but what would you pick? What would you pick?
I picked the resort. Okay, I thought it was like the whole.
It is the whole trip. Your whole vacation.
Yeah, no.
What if it
Then
was
we're-
like
yeah.
fully flip flop? You fly first class, but you have to stay in hostels the whole time. But you fly coach, but then you get to land and be in.
At this juncture of my life, I can't do youth hostels.
Here
I
we
did
go.
it.
Here we go. Would you rather go on vacation with your best friend or go on a vacation with your favorite celebrity that you don't know personally?
Best friend. Easy.
Sophia?
Oh, I do the celebrity. Can you imagine the story? And if you end up not getting along, like as a journalist, boom, People Magazine, there you go.
See, this is one of those things. I like Sophia. I have no idea how you think. Best friend all day long. Like that's the thing about celebrities. Sometimes you don't.
They can be jerks.
Oh, absolutely. But that's the
You don't
unknown.
wanna- yeah, exactly.
I've been on a vacation with my best friend. Sometimes you don't travel well with your best friends too. You know, I mean, I would travel with my best friend, but I can do that any day. If I can go with a celebrity, might as well give it a try. And if it's terrible, it's just one vacation.
That's a good
and
point
I have that
too.
story
That's a
for
good
the
point,
rest
too.
of my life.
Would you rather, on vacation, have unlimited food or unlimited activities and excursions?
Wait.
Would you, on vacation, would you rather have unlimited food or unlimited activities and excursions?
At another time, I would have said food.
Yeah.
But now I'm saying activities and excursions.
Same.
Food just isn't that interesting to me right now.
Same. Give me the excursions. Before I would say food as well.
Also, excursions are way more expensive, I think. Like, you can get with food,
Yeah, they are.
you can play around,
Yeah.
see what the locals are into.
Yeah,
with
that's why people
excursions.
still do those timeshare presentations
Yeah.
because those excursions can be really
I've
spendy.
thought, like, people say they're really boring, but if I'm young enough, should I give it a go? Should I do a timeshare presentation
No.
in exchange for a
Don't
free
do
trip?
it. Don't
No?
do it.
Do it. No, actually, do it one time.
Nick, unlimited food or unlimited activities and
I
excursions?
take the excursions. There's like a wider range of activities, and even the cost, you don't know. Like it can go as high, way higher than food. And I'm not very picky with food either.
Now, this right here is the one that this is where there's separation between us all. Would you rather vacation somewhere hot or somewhere cold like a ski lodge, fireplace, snow falling?
give me a tropical vacation every single time. Every time.
Mm-hmm.
Sophia?
I knew me and Ursula would be aligned on this. Yeah,
Nick?
I will be in the hot all the time.
Yeah, give me the heat because we're used to the cold around here. It's a nice little change of seasons.
Yeah, it's heat all day. It's not even close.
It's not even a change of
It's not even close. All right, good stuff. Hey, we got a packed 10 and 11 o'clock hour. So at 11 o'clock, we will have on a guest, Peter Gallagher. He's going to tell us, because there was an opinion piece that was wrote in the Tacoma News Tribune about some of the emails that he received from Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swain. But up next, PSC wants to add $51, around there, a month to your electric bill by 2029. What we going to do? Todd Myers from the Washington Policy Center. He joins us next to discuss. Gee Ursula.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Parango and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
So, what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
You could file your taxes on a basic free service, which is fine. But are you okay with fine? Because when it's your money on the line, do you really want to guess if you missed a credit or hope the math is right? Get the confidence of TurboTax for free right on the Intuit Credit Karma app. Free Fed and free state for simple 1040s only. Around 37% of filers qualify. See details at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for EITC, CTC, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
For more than 75 years, the VA Home Loan Benefit has helped millions of eligible veterans and service members achieve their piece of the American dream, a home for their families. Did you know that you could purchase a home or refinance your current home loan with your VA Home Loan Benefit? VA home loans have lower closing costs and generally enjoy lower interest rates than other borrowers. The VA home loan may save you thousands of dollars on your mortgage. For more information, visit www.va.gov or talk to a lender of your choice. Choose VA.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling.
I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-507-9701. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-507-9701. That's 800-507-9701. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Your windows and doors play a huge role in your home's efficiency and comfort. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors for windows that are up to 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards and reduce noise by up to 50%. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Stacey Lynn in Washington, where there's speculation Attorney General Pam Bondi may be on her way out.
Sources tell CBS News President Trump is seriously considering replacing Bondi, citing dissatisfaction with how aggressively the Justice Department has pursued some of his priorities. Bondi has led several criminal investigations into the president's perceived political opponents, but most have been unsuccessful. When asked for a comment about a possible ouster, the president responded, Attorney General Pam Bondi is a wonderful person and she is doing a good job. Trump met this week with Lee Zeldin, the EPA administrator and possible Bondi replacement. Lindy Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
In space, the Artemis II crew is doing some testing before they can head to the moon. Mission specialist Christina Cook is looking back at Earth from more than 43,000 miles away.
And even from this far, you can make out a slight pink hue along the Terminator. It is just absolutely phenomenal. You guys look great.
CBS's Chris Van Cleve says they're hoping to get the go today.
If all is green, they can move forward. They're going to make that assessment this afternoon. It will be probably a long meeting as they go through a ton of data just to make sure everything looks good, and then they can decide to do this next burn, the translunar injection.
While President Trump says the war in Iran will be over shortly, correspondent Holly Williams reports on a very different message we're hearing from Tehran.
Iran has issued what seems to be a direct response to President Trump's address to the nation last night, and it is typically fiery. A spokesman for Iran's military command said in a statement addressing the U.S. and Israel this morning, quote, this war will continue until you experience humiliation, permanent regret, and inevitable surrender.
And CBS's Chris Livesay reminds us.
This war began just before the start of Ramadan, and now it's going into Easter as well. So people of all faiths in the region are being impacted by this war. Like all wars, it doesn't stop for holidays.
Allison Keyes reports that Easter is extra expensive this year.
This shopper is feeling lucky after finding the Easter goods she bought on sale.
I bought chocolate bunnies. I bought Peeps.
Peeps is really cashing in, teaming up with brands including Bath & Body Works with products tagged Peepin' It Real.
And while Peeps continue to be pretty polarizing, according to Google Trends data, they are once again the most popular Easter candy this year. They're followed by chocolate bunnies and jelly beans. On Wall Street, Dow is down 219. This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world. I'm Tony. There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers. How are you? I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
I'm Bob.
Governor Bob Ferguson getting pushback from his own party over a recently signed bill. We'll tell you about that in just a moment. But first, KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. And travel times are easing, but we still have some tough spots. Federal Way to Seattle, 33 minutes, so that's a little bit tough getting out of the south end. And we are seeing a little bit of pressure on the alternate routes still, 509 and 99 in a few spots. And that merge from West Seattle, of course, is very pesky. The southbound drive is only 32 minutes at this point. That is a 20-minute improvement from an hour ago. The other tough spot is getting out of Linwood and Bothell down to the east side in Bellevue. Linwood to Bellevue is 47 minutes now. We still are slowing out of Bothell off and on. There's no collisions, it's just some volume. 405 northbound through Renton is 21 minutes, and I don't see anything major blocking to tell you about. So that's pretty good news. And we've got our lake bridges clear, and the South Sound is pretty much a speed limit drive anywhere you want to go. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. A Democratic state representative is lashing out at Governor Bob Ferguson after he vetoed $500,000 to fight retail theft. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports the governor announced the cuts right before signing the state's operational budget into law.
State Representative Mari Levitt says she is deeply disappointed in the governor, especially after he backed a pilot program that led to more arrests and more prosecutions in 5 months than the previous 4 years. The governor explained with state agencies facing $1 billion in cuts this year, he had no choice.
Consequently, we have limited ability to absorb additional work for expenses that are not funded in the budget.
Retail theft recently led to the closing of 2 Fred Meyer locations in Everett and Kent. Levitt fears more food deserts in neighborhoods and safety risks for small businesses. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
A deputy-involved shooting is under investigation Martha Lake, east of Linwood. 1 man died. Investigators say they were called to a home with reports of a disturbance and a man with a gun last night. At least one Snohomish County Sheriff's deputy was involved, but no law enforcement officers were injured. A disturbing discovery on Guaymas Island after the Skagit County Sheriff's Office says a dozen canines were found washed ashore. Here's KIRO 7 TV reporter Jack Bilyeu.
It's a creepy mystery out here. Creepy mystery.
Chief Olivia Cole of the Guaymas Island Fire Department says after multiple canine carcasses were reported on the beaches there, her team was called in to pick them up. What she found shocked her.
Animal Control is investigating but isn't sure yet if the animals are family dogs, wolves, or coyotes. A man has escaped from Western State Hospital. Joshua Dillon Rice has pending robbery and assault charges in Clark County, but was being treated at the facility in Lakewood. He also has a criminal history in Oregon. Police say the 35-year-old is suspected of violent crimes and should be considered dangerous. We have a photo of him up on mynorthwest.com. Now let's get your forecast. It is going to have a combination of showers and sun today with a high of 53. A few sprinkles tomorrow, but mostly cloudy skies. 45 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Let me quit playing. Ursula, what was you about to say?
Well, we got some breaking news.
What's the breaking news?
And I don't know if CBS hit it because I was out of the room.
Nope.
But this is just coming in right now, and it's that Pam Bondi is out as U.S. Attorney General.
Wow.
A source familiar with all of this is speaking with CNN and says that the president has ousted Pam Bondi. She's going to be replaced, at least for now, by Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. And this might not come as a complete surprise because there had been some talk that the president was thinking about that. But it sounds like Trump had already told her that she was not going to be long for the role, and that he would be replacing her in the near future. So we're going to get more details for sure. But again, Todd Blanche, who is the guy who spoke about the release of the Epstein files, he is going to be taking her place. I also want to point out that I believe this is the same Todd Blanche who has been Trump's personal attorney. So we will be getting more details on that, but that is breaking as we speak.
Okay, Ursula, I don't have anything to say.
You don't?
That. No. I'm having.
Well, I would love to hear from our listeners.
My birthday's coming.
Yes. Text line 888-973-5476 888-973 KIRO.
What do you think?
Along with Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem being the worst Homeland Security Secretary, I would say that Pam Bondi will go down in history as one of the worst U.S. attorneys.
888
So I'm not shedding any tears.
888-973-5476. Please, we'd love you to weigh in. I'm not weighing in on it, but you would love for you to weigh in.
Why holding back?
Well,
because
Are you choosing joy today? I'm choosing joy. I'm choosing joy. I like this. But what we got? We got a guest?
We have a guest.
Yes, let's go.
What's new at 10?
Well, a lot of people are not going to be feeling joy because if your electric bills are already giving you heartburn, they could get a whole lot worse. Puget Sound Energy is proposing another round of increases. We're talking about nearly 30% for electricity and 20% for gas over the next 3 years. And if it goes through, the average customer could be paying hundreds more every single year. And the company is saying, the PSC is saying that it needs the money to modernize the grid, also needs to prepare for extreme weather, and also needs to meet the state's clean energy mandates. But a lot of folks are complaining. I've been seeing it online, and I've been seeing the critics say that, we're getting squeezed while shareholders are still getting paid. So you know who we talked to recently who we said we are going to get him back because this is a guy who knows a lot about energy and environmental policy. Mm-hmm. That is Todd Myers with the Washington Policy Center, and we're happy to say that he joins us now live on the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks.
It's nice to be here with you. I like it when he says, I choose joy, and then the next thing you say is, we have Todd Myers.
We're sticking with the theme. We're sticking with it. We're going with it. Okay, Todd, let's just start right off the bat because I saw a lot of people complaining. Are these increases justified for the reasons that PSC is saying that they're doing it?
So the Utilities Commission will determine sort of the level. PSC has asked for about a 30% increase, which is big. That will be decided next year, actually. So we've got a whole another year before that comes into effect. But, and they may quibble, right? They may go down to 26% or things like that. But fundamentally, these costs are there for a reason, and they're going to get something like that for much because of the reasons that you talked about. In addition to meeting the state's energy law, what's called the Clean Energy Transformation Act, which requires net zero by 2030, they also have to upgrade their system for a variety of new technologies, make it more resilient. So there's a number of things that go into this, but it's basically driven by state law. What I hear is that, this is because of data centers. This is not because of data centers. We may see that in the future, but that demand is not what we're seeing right now. That's not why they're building this out. They're building this out because of the other reasons that you and I just mentioned.
Can I ask one other thing? There's also a push to increase shareholder returns. Why should customers pay more while dividends are still going out?
Well, and that's part of what the Utilities Commission will look at to see whether the costs are justified and whether they're getting a reasonable rate of return. So the way our electricity system works is that it's a guaranteed monopoly. So Puget Sound Energy has a guaranteed monopoly in its area, and the Utilities Commission, which is appointed by the governor, looks at it and says, okay, you get a reasonable rate of return. By state law, they get a reasonable rate of return. Now, the word reasonable, of course, is what people debate about, but that has to be part of it. And frankly, we want that. We want a stable system with a stable company, because what we have seen elsewhere is that when you get utilities that aren't making money, or they are at the threat of losing money, then they start cutting back on maintenance and other things that we don't want them to do. So having a stable rate of return and a predictable rate of return is a good thing. The level can be debated.
Todd, let's just say all of a sudden that PSC says, hey, we want to do and help our customers out, the people. And let's say the people came first. What could PSC do to make sure that they're good and they're making money while also looking out for the people?
So I think that the structure of your question, I would disagree with, because I don't think that PSE is ever going to look out for its customers. I think that obviously
it's a guaranteed monopoly.
Jeez,
you just said it was a guaranteed monopoly.
Wait, stop right there. Why do you think that PSC would never look out for its customers?
I think it does look out for its customers. Don't get me wrong. I know people at PSE and they don't want to feel like they're gouging, but they also want to get a rate of return, and they have a justification, right? They can say, look, we need this money to put in reserves in case there's a big problem, there's forest fires, there's other things like that. So they'll always have a rationalization for why they need it. So I think, if our position is, well, I hope that PSE looks out for me. No, I don't think we can do it. That's not a good, stable structure. What I think we need to do is to put more hands in the power of individuals about the cost that they pay. And that actually is one of these, a part of what they're doing, which is they're increasing two-way communication technology so that people can see what their costs are in real time and take more control. That's not something we've ever done. And so people are not used to it, but that makes it so that you're less reliant on PSE looking out for you, and you can look out for you.
So, Todd, if this continues, let's just say this continues. We just talked about, the article came out about a potential around $51 a month being added to your bill by 2029. So let's just say this continues next 3 to 5 years. What does this mean for families that are living paycheck to paycheck?
Yeah, it's really hard because there's another aspect of this, which is that it's not just the cost. A lot of these costs are associated with capital. It's not the cost of the electricity only, it's the cost of the investment in capital. So there's a certain amount of fixed rate. So even if we could bring down the cost of electricity, there's still going to be those costs. But there's one group I want to make sure that we don't ignore, which is the legislature. Again, the reason that they're investing in these things is because the law says to, and it is the government who approves or rejects, their plans. And so I think that there's a lot of focus on why is PSE doing this? PSE, rightly, I think, to the large extent, says we're doing this because we have to meet state laws. So unless there's a change in state law and and how restrictive state requirements are, you're going to keep seeing these rate increases. They may not be 30%, they may be slightly less, but they're going to be big.
Well, 30% is a dramatic thing. And I want to ask you what customers can do, because you said there are things that we as customers can do to help ourselves, because we shouldn't expect PSE to do that for us. But how much, I want to ask your opinion now, how much of this comes down to Washington's clean energy laws? And are we moving too fast for what people can actually afford?
In my opinion, yes. I think we are moving too fast. One of the things that frustrates me about targets that we have for climate targets or energy targets is that they always happen to be divisible by 5, right? They're always at the decade's end. They're always a certain percentage, right? 100% or 50%. Those targets are set because they're politically palatable, or you can, make them sound cool, rather than any sort of analysis of, can we actually achieve this? And I think what we're seeing with the Clean Energy Transformation Act and some of these others is that we set targets based on politics and round numbers, not on feasibility. And when I talk with not just PSE, but other utilities, they all say, it's going to be really hard to meet that 2030 target. We are way behind. And so you're having to see this rush of investment trying to keep up with those state laws. So even if we kept the sort of the theory of the law or the intent of the law, but moved the deadlines back, I think that would ease some of this pressure.
So, Todd, you had provided, last time we talked, you talked about some of the things that folks can do to help themselves. So we're looking at this, and you also sent a follow-up email after we talked and said, hey, this is a place where people can save money. Share some of those tips.
Yeah, so I think that there's a couple things. So one, I will say that I'm a big fan of something that freaks people out, which is a program that allows Puget Sound Energy to turn down your thermostat. Just full disclosure, I allow it. I'm part of it. They have turned down my
They're doing it for you.
Thermostat. Correct, exactly. So you opt in. It's voluntary. And then they say, hey, we're having a peak. We're going to turn down your thermostat, or up, depending on what it is, by a few degrees for a short period of time. And then they pay you for that. So you get a financial benefit from it. And they did it recently. And they say that they can reduce peak demand by about 2 to 3% doing that. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but peak demand is when costs are super high. So it saves you money, and it saves the amount of money that Puget Sound Energy then has to roll back into rates. So that's one thing you can do. The other thing you can do is that if you have these sorts of programs which charge you based on time of day, you can do things like, not dry your clothes in the evening or when you first get up. Dry them at night, dry them in the middle of the day when rates are lower, when demand is lower. What you'll do is you'll start to realize, I use electricity here. If I shift it just a few hours, then I can actually save money so that I'm not buying electricity when it is most expensive. These things are new to people. It's going to take time, but if we can give people encouragement to do this and pay attention, then they don't have to rely on Puget Sound Energy having their best interests. They can take control. And I think that's the way that we're going to deal with this, rather than, hoping that Puget Sound Energy and government slug it out.
This is the voice of Todd Myers from the Washington Policy Center here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Often when we are talking about infrastructure and energy and all kinds of stuff, a lot of times we're talking about the future. Like we want to be like, hey, we want to do things right today because the future is more important. What if sometimes all this investing in the future is making it unaffordable for us right now? When does the legislature, PSC, all of them maybe take that into consideration that it's getting rough for us out here in the streets?
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think there's a lot of wishful thinking that has gone into this, that has gotten us to this point. So you're absolutely right, which is why I would, advocate that we either suspend or we change the targets on the laws. There is some money in the most recent budget to provide small rebates to people to help cover costs. For low-income folks, there are programs that can help cover their electricity costs in the near term. So those things do exist, but as you can tell, they are not keeping up with the increases and the pressure that people feel, not just in energy, but at the gas pump and in so many other areas. And all of those things add up. I completely agree.
Todd, I want to bring up what we feel at the gas pump, and there's a lot of talk about the Climate Commitment Act at the CCA. Yeah. I know that you have spoken a lot about this. Is there any kind of push other than those of us who talk here for a living to suspend the CCA or revisit it to see how effective it is or is not?
I wish there was. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the case. The Climate Commitment Act, which is the tax on CO2 emissions, people are pointing to gas prices increases right now. That is not related to the CO2 tax. That is related to the war in Iran. But Washington does have higher prices than Idaho or Oregon because of the CO2 tax. In order to meet our 2030 targets, we will have to reduce CO2 emissions by the equivalent of more than 2 COVID-level reductions in just a few years. So doing that is going to be really expensive. Prices are going to go way up, or we're just simply going to have to change the targets. And so that's going to continue to add cost. Again, I think we need to reconsider those targets and whether they're feasible. We now know the cost. And so let's adjust to that and let's deal with reality. And I think that there is an obstinance because we want to be seen as leaders on climate. We want to be seen as leaders on clean energy, but there has to be some balance with the cost of that.
I'm so
well said.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you brought that up. And I'm so glad. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it. You don't mind if we cut that when you talked about the reason why the gas prices are so high, do you? You don't mind, do you? Also, I also need a sound clip of you saying that these gas bills are diabolical. That would help because that's something that I have said. No,
I don't think I can say it as well as you.
Okay, being serious though, Todd, we're grateful that you. One of the last questions that I have for you, and this is important because sometimes I like to know the reason why the person that's in front of me that's giving us all this information. Where does this come from? Have you been doing this your whole life? Why are you so passionate about this very topic? You're very good at it. I love the facts. Explain.
I think as we established the last time I was on, I'm a nerd. And so,
not my words. Not my words.
I didn't say it. You said it, Todd. Okay. Are you the one that shows up to the party talking about clean energy? Is that you?
Not always, but I have been known, yes. But look, I've worked in this for 25 years. I find it fascinating, and I will just tell you real quickly. When I first worked at the Department of Natural Resources, I didn't know anything about environmental policy. I had run campaigns, and so I went to work at the state agency because I was a political guy, and I spent the first year walking around forests with foresters and biologists and things like that. And I remember one time at the end of that first year and stopping with a forester and saying, "This is so fascinating. How come nobody knows about this?" And he sort of laughed and said, "Oh yeah, you don't hear about this stuff in the public or in politics." And I was hooked then. I just thought this was so interesting, these energy and environment issues. And so believe me, if you had told me in college I would spend my career in energy and environment, I would have told you you're crazy, but I love it and I think it's really fascinating.
Well, you're doing important work. JD in Mount Vernon wants to know, where can I find the hours that PSC rates are lower? I think a lot of people want to know that. Where's the easiest way to know?
Yeah, the way costs work is that they're low in the middle of the night when there's little demand. They go up when we wake up, and then they actually go down in the middle of the day slightly, and then they peak in the evenings and then go down at night. Now, most people don't have a rate structure that allows them to take advantage of that. Most people's rate structure is basically flat throughout the day. But programs like I talked about allow you to take advantage of some of those things, and we're moving in that direction. And a lot of people think that sounds weird and are sort of nervous about it. I get a lot of pushback every time I talk about this. But again, I think that's the way that people can take advantage and take control of their costs.
Todd Myers, Washington Policy Center, thank you. And by the way, I just want you to know, every time you come on, I feel a little smarter about all this clean energy stuff. So we got to have you on more often, man, because to this day, still, Governor Jay Inslee and all of them, they was not able to explain that CCA. You know what I mean? Like, what? I didn't understand, but you make it good, bro.
Thank you very much. Always nice chat with you.
All right. That is Todd Myers, Washington Policy Center. Really appreciate his time. Ursula, calling an audible. We might need to talk about the news that just broke because we had a lot of our listeners that have weighed in on Pam Bondi is out as Attorney General for the United States. So we'll do that next. Gee and Ursula.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive home and auto bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
How would you like to finally lose all those unwanted pounds quickly without spending thousands on painful injections or prescriptions? Hi, it's Donna Simpson, health and wellness expert. You probably know someone that is using Ozempic, the hottest diet craze in the country. Everyone knows about this prescription injection. Celebs use it to look their best. The problem is most of us can't afford Ozempic, and these injections can be so uncomfortable. Now you can lose the weight just as easily, but with no needles, no expensive prices, no side effects, and no worries. You need to try Lozempic, a new miracle weight loss breakthrough that performs so well it's been called nature's Ozempic. Lozempic is an easy-to-take diet pill now available without a prescription, being used by thousands to get rid of those unwanted pounds. So call now and find out how to get a free bottle.
To find out how to get your free bottle of Lozempic, call 800-631-7101, 800-631-7101. Free bottles are limited, so call 800-631-7101. That's 800-631-7101.
File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. TurboTax helps you get your biggest refund, and then Credit Karma helps you do more with it. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
At Madrona Financial and CPAs, we believe financial decisions should be made with clarity, not sales pressure. That's why we host weekly educational seminars and live webinars on retirement planning, tax strategies, and rental property decisions, designed to help you think more strategically about your future. Whether you prefer attending in person or joining from home, there's always something coming up. To see our upcoming schedule, visit madronafinancial.com. Madrona Financial and CPAs. Informed planning starts here. Madrona Financial Services is an SEC registered investment advisor.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. 2 people have died in a shooting in Puyallup. This is breaking news. We will have an update from police, but first we're going to get a special report from CBS on Attorney General Pam Bondi.
CBS News special report. Pam Bondi is no longer the Attorney General of the United States. President Trump has fired her.
She will be leaving her post. She has been informed that she will no longer be Attorney General.
CBS's Nancy Cordes is at the White House and tells us Bondi will be offered a new role in the private sector.
He tends to ease them out and put them in another position so that he doesn't have to say that he made a bad choice or that they have been fired.
As for who will be the Attorney General now,
at least temporarily, the job will be taken over by her number 2, the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who was President Trump's lead defense attorney in his hush money trial, so someone who has also proven to be very loyal to the President of the United States.
On Truth Social, Trump called Bondi a great American patriot and loyal friend who faithfully served as Attorney General. He said she did a tremendous job. CBS News special report. I'm Stacey Lynn.
And I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio. 3 people have been shot in Puyallup. 2 of them are dead now. This is breaking news coming into the KIRO News Radio newsroom. Police Captain Kevin Gill said at this point they're looking at 2 different shooters potentially in what was initially described as a domestic violence call.
The span between 2 neighborhood homes. It started in one home, went across the street to the next.
You can't hear that very well, but it started across the street from one home and spilled out onto the street. He says one person has been taken to the hospital. Gill says they're investigating, but there is currently no danger to the public. No arrests have been made. We will update you with additional information as it becomes available. Iran is responding to President Donald Trump's speech last night, saying they are not going to give up, and they say U.S. airstrikes have not eliminated their missile capabilities. No end in sight for the war then, or increases in gas prices. The average for a gallon of of diesel in Washington is now $6.71, according to AAA, breaking last week's record-breaking prices. And the average for unleaded is up 6 cents in just a week to $5.36. The record from 2022 is $5.55. Now we're going to get a look at your drive. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic, and we're looking better, but still a lot of pressure on those north-south routes. Federal Way to Seattle is 27 minutes. Linwood to Seattle on I-5 southbound, 32 minutes. Nothing blocking, just that Ship Canal Bridge construction area and some leftover commuter traffic. Linwood to Bellevue, 35 minutes on 405. Renton to Bellevue, 30 minutes. The lake bridges look clear, and if you're driving to Tacoma, it's clear through Tacoma too. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio. We are going to have intermittent showers and sun today with a high of 53. A few sprinkles, but mostly dry tomorrow with a high of 57. It's 45 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is 10:33, and this is the Gee and Ursula Show, and we are pulling an audible because of the breaking news that you just heard on Jillian's newscast. Pam Bondi is out as U.S. Attorney General.
The president just released through Truth Social a comment saying Pam Bondi is a great American patriot, a loyal friend who faithfully served as my Attorney General over the past year.
Okay, so what happened? CBS's Olivia Rinaldi says President Trump has been contemplating this move, mainly because of how he thinks Pam Bondi handled the Epstein investigation.
He's had frustration with the Attorney General over the way the Epstein files were handled. If you'll remember, last February in 2025, she told Fox News that she had all of the client lists to be shown to the public, and then later DOJ said there was no client list, there was no information, and then of course it got voted on in the House, and then come December the files were released, and not released in full, and released in tranches, which has continued to have this be a front and center controversy for this administration.
And so now Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche is expected to step in as the acting Attorney General. And then there is a lot of talk about possible replacements, including one of the higher profile Trump allies like Lee Zeldin, who I believe just got a different position. I mean, this is all breaking right now, but we are changing what we originally planned because this is certainly big news.
It is big news. And as you know, Ursula, I'm choosing joy, even though I'm getting tickled by this person that's texting right now. But we'll be discussing this at 11 o'clock. So here's the thing. And I know you're going to weigh in on some text messages. A lot of text messages are coming in. But I'm going to take this time right now to just say, and this is real. Pam Bondi had a very hard job. I think that the position of being Attorney General, Ursula, is hard without the extra stuff that she was having to do, the gymnastics that she was having to do. And I truly believe that the real reason why she is out is because Pam Bondi did not weaponize this DOJ the way that he wanted her to do. She came out at the very beginning. She talked about the Epstein files. She talked about all the stuff that they had, and they've had to do nothing but the Matrix this entire time. So if Pam Bondi, in my heart of hearts, would have done a better job of weaponizing the DOJ, if Pam Bondi did she kind of commit a little bit of perjury just recently? All of those things. It's hard to do that job whenever you are having to be compromised the entire time.
Yeah, it shouldn't be hard to do that job. Because it should be separate from the president. You should not be influenced by whoever is in the White House. It's supposed to be a separate situation.
But she got put in that job to do a job.
And she did a horrible job. Basically, her tenure is going to be remembered because there was politicization of the Justice Department. There was the number of people who were sidelined, career prosecutors who lost their jobs because they were not loyal to the president. it's unfortunate. I mean, the times, we never even covered it on this show because there's so much else going on. But the times that she would be testifying before Congress, and you talked about, could she be held for perjury? Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. The interesting thing, too, is she's being removed from her job. But once again, the president is putting her into another position like he did with Kristi Noem. It's like, why not? If they're not cut out for the job, cut them out.
Yeah. Totally agree with the job, and they're getting rid of him. Right now, Pete Hegseth is keeping his job. And one thing about Hegseth, as long as you are loyal to him, and I think that is the number one thing that we have to understand. And when it comes to Donald Trump, I truly don't believe, and I've been saying this, I don't think he cares if you're white, black, purple, yellow, orange. I don't think he cares if you're conservative or Democrat. Republican, conservative or liberal, all this stuff. He only cares about loyalty. And once you cross that boundary of no loyalty to him, it's a wrap. So what's some of the text messages saying?
Robin Puyallup says, Kristi and Bondi now gone. How long before they are touted as why DEI is bad?
Rob, the retired police officer, he's saying, if Pam is no longer Attorney General, will she be testifying under oath before Congress? Seems like with everything else going on, some folks might forget about her alleged perjury.
And by the way, Tyson from the 808, Ursula says, hold up, G, going after Don Lemon wasn't the weaponization? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it wasn't used. I'm saying it wasn't used enough.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with Dave in Snohomish County. She did weaponize the DOJ, just not enough for the boss.
Oh,
it's not a. And I agree with Dave. I mean, it's a tough job, but she made it tougher because she didn't stand up for the rule of law. And the sad thing is, I'm concerned because, again, the possibilities they're talking about. I mean, right now, Todd Blanche, look at his background. Now he's going to step in as acting attorney general. And then they're talking about, again, Trump allies like Lee Zeldin. How about getting people who are the most qualified for these very important positions, who will represent the people and the best interests of all the people in this country, not just the president of the United States? I mean, I would like to see us move back to not weaponizing the DOJ, but I don't think that's going to happen. So it's like, okay, remove her, then what?
Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm curious to how this is going to play out. I'm also curious, like you talked about the potential replacement for right now. So somebody that will be there to interim. Will we see direct results from that replacement? So I would assume that whoever didn't you say the replacement is like a former lawyer? Is that what you're saying?
He's a Trump. Well, they're talking about Lee Zeldin. Don't know who, but Deputy AG Todd Blanche. Sophia, can you look up precisely what he did? But I want to say that he represented Trump in other situations as an attorney.
Hey, was Bondi a DEI hire? Was she qualified? Don't answer that, Ursula. That was just me. Don't answer that one. But I think the job she had was pretty hard, and I think that whoever gets that position again, it would be pretty hard. And Ursula, I'm with you. Can we go back to doing the job the way that it's supposed to be? Coming up next, scenarios. Gee and Ursula.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
Everyday students stay after school for sports, clubs, and tutoring, many on empty stomachs. Safeway and Champions of Change offer grants for after-school meal programs. Schools must apply by April 8th at championsofchangefoundation.org and click Nourishing Champions.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Let's talk about hockey. Don't you love a sport where it's almost fair game to throw off your gloves and bare knuckle it in that gray area? Hockey brings excitement, intensity, passion, often drinking. It's like a party with a puck. If you enjoy too many shots at the bar while watching slap shots on the ice, don't try to make a breakaway because the police won't just stonewall your goal. They're much more likely to throw you in that penalty box. And it won't be just a few minutes to think about what you did. Go ahead, enjoy cracking one open. Just don't overdo it. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com for your free private consultation. Hockey is one of the only sports where you can wrap around the goal and there's no out of bounds. But the roadway is a different story. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY!
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. No!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026. Taxes, fees, extra.
Dr. Mark Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, including mine, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. And we've interviewed over 100 of Dr. Wagner's patients, and we hear the same things. It changed my life. I'm back to doing the activities I love without pain. It really works. It's remarkable.
We love helping people get back to living life to the fullest and doing the things they enjoy most.
They also must really enjoy not having the pain and recovery time with surgery.
Stem cell therapy is a 60-minute, non-surgical, minimally invasive procedure to eliminate pain, regenerate cartilage, treat tendon and ligament tears, osteoarthritis, and chronic tendinitis.
And you only use the patient's own stem cells.
That's right, their body's own stem cells.
So whether it's a hip like me, an elbow, shoulder, or knee.
Don't forget ankles, wrists, and thumbs.
Yep, those patients too. Before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD first. Learn more at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Nothing but net. Nice shot. Man, I miss playing basketball. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
Lower testosterone?
Yeah, men just lose their edge after 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
Nugenix, the testosterone booster.
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula. It skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours and boosts your body's free and total testosterone in just 2 weeks. Since I started taking it, my energy is way up. I feel like I did back when we played for Coach Mack, and it's even spiced things up with my wife.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text SPIRAL to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text SPIRAL to 215-215. That's SPIRAL to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Get out in the sun, get your hands in the soil. A little gardening goes a long way. Hi, I'm Sarah from Sky Nursery in Shoreline. April is a great time to grow your connection to nature. Whether it's native fir trees in your backyard, a thriving patch of flowers, or a walk through your local arboretum. Whatever your adventure, there is something beautiful to discover. Our purpose at Sky Nursery is to support you on your gardening journey with quality plants, supplies, and local knowledge. Celebrate Earth Day, Arbor Day, and Native Plant Month with Sky Nursery. Garden tips and info at skynursery.com.
Hey, it is a Gee and Ursula show. Hey, Ursula, who's our guest? We got Peter Gallagher coming on at 11.
Yes, News Tribune reporter who's been on the receiving end of a bunch of emails from the Pierce County Sheriff to the point where an editorial writer was like, is this okay?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and we want you, after you hear about it, because I think it's just unhinged, honestly, for a sitting sheriff to be doing this to a reporter. I think you're trying to intimidate.
Yep. All right. Scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
I worked in a big office building with a parking lot for several buildings. Yesterday, I parked as usual and was walking towards the entrance. Then I noticed 2 young women standing in front of their car with the hood open. It looked like they were trying to figure out what was going on with their car. Now, I'm pretty good with car maintenance, so I walked over and asked if they needed some help. One of them said, "No, we're good here." So I offered to give them my number and said, "Okay, well, text me if you run into any problems, and I'd be glad to help." They said, "No, thanks." So I went on to work. Apparently, one of them followed me to find out where I was working and filed a complaint with my HR that I was trying to hit on them and being creepy because I got hauled into an official meeting about it. Now, it worked out okay, but now I have a note in my personnel file. I don't need any help with this situation, but I'm just curious. What should I have done in that moment? I was just trying to be nice. Do women want help, or do they automatically assume the worst? Is it better to just ignore situations where I could help? 888-973-5476. It is the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Ursula, you have to bat first.
Okay, if I'm going to take this person's
word,
and just take it at face value that you weren't giving creepy vibes and you said, hey, if you do end up needing help, then I would say that your HR department overreacted, and it's unfortunate because I know that when I have had car issues, not that I've had a lot, but when I've had car issues, I am so thankful if someone comes who actually knows what they're doing and can help me out, because I am completely clueless, and waiting for AAA these days is a long wait. So I would say, just taking it at face value, I would say it's unfortunate, but you have to understand that, remember those women who were surveyed and asked, who would you rather encounter, a guy or a bear? And they said the bear.
Yeah.
That's what you're dealing with. Women have, I'm going to say this, women have really good gut instincts. And if you've got 2 of them feeling that you're creeping them out, maybe you need to check. Maybe there is something that you were doing too. Again, I say that only because I understand that you were trying to do something good, but maybe you gave off a weird vibe.
Yeah, this is very easy. Fellas, listen up. When you pulled up on them and you came there and it was open, the hood was open, you saw 2 ladies and you said, hey, you're good at car maintenance. Hey, you guys need any help? They said, no.
No, move.
Done.
Yeah, you're done. You did your part.
You did your part.
Yeah.
Now well, here's my phone number.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. Here's my phone number. Now you are asking for any type of loose interpretation and all that.
And even if you had good intentions, you creeped them out.
You creeped them out.
Yeah.
So, and this is very important. This next part is very important. when they say no one time,
yes,
that's it.
It's no.
It's no. Do y'all hear me?
Yes, and that's in more than this application. This is anytime.
Yeah. When they say no one time.
Yeah, don't try to keep cajoling them. No.
Sophia?
Yeah, no, you nailed it. I mean, it's a vibometer, but it's the same thing. When you say no, you say no. And also, it can be a little patronizing. Like, you're just assuming they don't know what they're doing. There's two of them. One of them may know, they might know what they're doing, and they're working on the car. And if she says no, you being like, well, let me come back and help you, is patronizing and freaks them out, and it's not really the vibe. And in certain situations, you know, always good to offer. I remember one time when I was younger, someone told me, like, oh, if you ever need help with your car, just, you know, open the hood and maybe someone will see you. And I was like, I don't know if that's always the words of wisdom I want to go by. But in certain areas, maybe that will work. But good on them for standing on the ground.
Yeah. All right, Brother Nick, what you got?
You know, I'm going to assume it wasn't a creepy vibe, and he was just, you know, he saw an issue in the car, and the two were standing in front of the car with the hood open. And if he was trying to ask if they needed help, that's one thing. But once they say no, it should be over from there. Asking for a number in case they need help later seems a bit over the top and extra. I will say going to HR, though, about it after was a little extra, too. So for both sides, I think they went a little further than they should have. So after all this drama, I would say if you see that situation again, if you're the guy in his shoes with anyone you don't know, just ignore it and pass them by. Because in this case, I feel like if you're doing a half measure, you're going to lead to other things that might not have come your way. So just ignore anybody you don't know if they need help. You know, no more drama.
Ursula, our good friend Ryan in the 360 texts in and says, my 46-year-old wife from the Midwest is listening to the show with me. And my wife says, those women were just a bunch of whiny princesses looking for a problem. And that's not how normal people are. You go out of the city or out of the Northwest, and women would appreciate unless the person's being creepy. And I think there's a big difference.
Okay, hold it. I said flat out, I appreciate it when someone offers their help. And I would take them up if I didn't already say no.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason they said no.
Yeah.
So again, we're only getting a little part of that story. Like,
they were spoiling for a fight though when they went to HR. I think they could have just let it go.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you what G gonna do. Watch this. Just so I can make sure they don't say nothing. Watch this from a distance. Hey, y'all okay? Okay,
you're good.
Good.
Just a little pass by, you know.
Hey, y'all okay? Okay. Cool.
No, but in all seriousness, this is part of the problem why there's so much division, where there's so many men that are like, I can't even go up to a woman and see if she needs help. That's not what we're saying.
No.
But you got to read the vibes and respond to the situation.
Yes. Don't persist if they say no.
Yeah. All right. Ursula, we got a guest coming in at 11 o'clock. We will have on Peter Gallagher. And there was a discussion about in the Tacoma News Tribune, about some emails from the Pierce County Sheriff to Peter Gallagher, and it was written about with an opinion piece. And so we'll find out all about that next. Gee Ursula.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. Ready for family fun and fitness year-round in your own backyard? During our Sweet Spring Savings event, we're adding Endless Pools factory discounts with our already incredible savings. That means you can enjoy up to $16,500 off your dream swim spa. Don't wait. These amazing savings end April 14th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
We know finding a company to trust with your home is a big decision, and one we look forward to earning with incredible service, top quality products, and lifetime warranties. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Our windows are feature rich with our sound package that reduces noise by 50%, clean glass technology, and added protection with our exclusive First Guard 3-layer security glass. Learn more about all of these features at lakewashingtonwindows.com. Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
What's with the water heater's worn out?
Way less hot water?
Takes a lot longer, too.
Sounds like a goner.
Worst of all,
what?
Wasn't planning on it.
We can help.
Apollo Plumbing.
Ready right now to get you
in hot water.
Same day.
Not this day. My budget.
How about with easy payments?
How much easy?
Around $50 a month with approved credit.
A new water heater?
50 gallons of 100% hot water delight.
For about $50 a month.
51, 52 to be precise.
And you can do it
today. If that that's what you need.
Is it ever?
Apollo installs new ones with code upgrades.
Can't beat that.
Actually, I can.
What?
Your same-day water heater replacement includes Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Which means?
Apollo Plumbing covers your new water heater for life.
You mean should it ever wear out?
Apollo Plumbing replaces it free.
And if it needs service?
Service is included for our A-list members.
Wow!
Your new water heater is ready
right now
at ApolloPlumbing.com.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. There is a new boss, at least for now, at the Justice Department. President Trump has fired Pam Bondi. CBS's Linda Kenyon with the latest.
Pam Bondi has become the second cabinet member of President Trump's second term to be ousted. The president expressed dissatisfaction over the lack of successful prosecutions of perceived political opponents during Bondi's tenure. Trump publicly praised Bondi as recently as today, but also said she will be replaced by her deputy, Todd Blanche, who will serve as acting attorney general. Trump also says Bondi will be transitioning to a much-needed and important new job in the private sector. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The Artemis II crew will soon rub the sleep out of their eyes after a 4-hour nap. Commander Reed Weissman had one last message for Mission Control before hitting the sack.
The view out window 3 from about 38,000 nautical miles, the entire half of the Earth is spectacular.
CBS's Mark Strassman is monitoring the almost 10-day-long moon mission.
They're especially focused on testing the life support systems. Without that, obviously, you've got major problems. But they need a series of systems, checks, and tests to convince NASA that they are safe now to make the push for the moon.
President Trump says the war with Iran will take weeks. Also, during last night's primetime address, he repeated his assertions that U.S. objectives are nearly met and Iran's offensive capabilities essentially decimated. But he offered no new information about those objectives or any plan to reopen the Strait of Hormuz to oil tankers. Reaction from Virginia Democratic Congressman Don Beyer.
There has to be a diplomatic solution. They can't stop Iran from ever getting a nuclear weapon unless there's a diplomatic agreement with verification.
Iran has fired more missiles at Israel and Gulf Arab states. An ethics watchdog group is calling for an investigation into Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. CBS's Michael Wallace explains why.
Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington has filed a complaint with the Pentagon's Inspector General over Hegseth's decision not to investigate last weekend's Apache helicopter flybys near Kid Rock's Nashville area home. Former Tennessee Congressman Jim Cooper served on the House Armed Services Committee.
To say there's not going to be no investigation, no discipline, no nothing.
That kind of takes your breath away. The watchdog also wants to know why the Apaches flew over Nashville's No Kings rally. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Stocks are down on Wall Street. The Dow has fallen 183 points. Oil is up almost 12%. This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here? How is this possible? Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60 Minutes.
We are going to update you on a double murder in Puyallup in just a moment. But first, we're going to go to KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. And we are looking so much better than we were during this morning's commute. Travel times have eased significantly. Federal Way to Seattle, just 25 minutes now. In the other direction, Linwood to Seattle, 21 minutes. And I don't see anything blocking, just, a little bit of residual volume. The lake bridges are clear. 405 slowing has almost completely gone away through those S-curves. Renton to Bellevue is 18 minutes at this point. Linwood to Bellevue is 22 minutes. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. 2 people are dead in Puyallup and another person is injured after a shooting this morning. Puyallup Police Captain Kevin Gill says this was initially a domestic violence call, although the details are still under investigation.
We don't believe it's a murder-suicide. We think we have potentially two different shooters here.
This incident happened at 31st Street Northwest and 13th Avenue Court Northwest. Gill says there's no threat to the community and no arrests have been made. Governor Bob Ferguson is facing criticism after vetoing $500,000 in funding to fight organized retail crime. Moments before signing the state's supplemental operating budget, Ferguson explained he had no choice because state agencies are dealing with $1 billion in cuts this year.
If we have a proposal to do something in our budget, we've got to have the funding to do it. When there was not funding provided and agencies could not absorb the costs, I had to veto those programs.
State Representative Mari Levitt then took to social media saying she is deeply disappointed and puzzled after the governor backed a pilot program that led to more arrests and more prosecutions in 5 months than the previous 4 years. 7 Costco members are taking the retailer to court asking for a refund after tariffs pushed prices higher for imported goods. According to the Seattle Times, the proposed class action lawsuit notes Costco is in line for refunds from the Trump administration, and they claim the big box chain would make a huge profit if they held on to those funds. No immediate response from Costco, although its CEO has pledged transparency on any federal tariff refunds. Scientists at Washington State University now taking a swing at the new torpedo bat being used in the MLB. KIRO News Radio's John Repp has that story.
You can blame or credit the Yankees for introducing the bat design which Cal Raleigh and other sluggers picked up. Lloyd Smith, who directs the school's sports science laboratory, says they conducted extensive testing, and despite the common perception of the torpedo bat as a home run generator, their studies found that both designs performed about the same across the board. John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
And the only difference they found was a slight shift in the sweet spot. Mariners lost again last night. That puts them near the bottom of the American League West at 3-4. Now we're going to get your weather forecast. A mix of showers and sun today with a high of 53 and a warming trend through the weekend. I'm looking at a high of 67 forecast by Monday, the warmest day of the year so far. 45 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Appreciate you for listening, hanging out with us. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. We have another packed hour for you. Of course, we're going to do Agree to Disagree coming up at 11:30. But right now, we want to get to it because we have a guest.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
And in the 9 o'clock hour, our top story was involving Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank because he is back in the news today after sending dozens of emails to a reporter at the News Tribune. And this was not to answer questions that the reporter had, but to send often sarcastic messages about the sheriff's work hours. The messages started after this reporter, Peter Gallagher, began looking into the sheriff's social media use. And even after that story found no major issues, the emails kept coming. And now we have Peter Gallagher on the news line with us right now. Good morning, Peter.
Hey, good morning. It's Peter Talbot. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my goodness. Talbot, thank you so much. And thank you for the correction. Okay, so tell me, first of all, Peter, when did these emails start coming?
Yeah, it was around January, right after or during the time I was reporting a story about looking into whether the sheriff, Keith Swank, had been spending, perhaps too much time on social media. Folks online in his replies on his X account, had told him, maybe you should, spend some more time working as a sheriff rather than, responding to people online. I decided to look into kind of how much time he was really spending on there and, found that he, didn't really seem to be spending really too much time online. But my inquiries to him about this and writing that story prompted him to start emailing me every day in the morning and the evening when he was starting work, when he was stopping work, asking me for permission to, if he was using the public's time or not, sarcastically. So that's how it started.
Peter, at what point did this stop feeling like communication and start feeling like intimidation?
Well, I don't know that I've been intimidated, but I will say that, after a few weeks of the emails just kept coming and, I wasn't, asking him questions about new stories. He just, wanted to keep me updated all the time. And, with these sarcastic emails about how he was using his time. Eventually, I just wanted to, mention to my colleagues that I was getting all of these emails constantly from the sheriff and was just, kind of curious their thoughts about it. I think they were a little bit more concerned than I was.
Has this ever happened to you from an elected official?
No, yeah, that's what really, kind of caught my attention with it. As I'm the criminal justice reporter at the News Tribune and write about public officials quite a lot and have for years and have just, never run into this situation where, I'm glad I have a communicative relationship with the sheriff and I try to have that with, all of my sources and, public officials, but I've never experienced this where, the emails just keep flowing and, don't seem to stop.
This is Peter Talbot, reporter for the News Tribune. Peter, read us some of these emails that you got, some of the messages that you got from the sheriff.
Sure. Yeah. I, got a new email this morning from the sheriff. I don't think he had perhaps read the opinion pieces that were out this morning. He said, I've been forgetting to send you emails regarding my work status. Week ending March 28th was an easy week. I only worked 57 hours, but the week ending March 21st was much busier. I was going to play an April Fool's joke on you yesterday, but I'm not sure if you would have taken it as a joke or not. You need to laugh more. You're always too serious around me. Have a great day.
Wow. Okay. So, but give some of the other ones as well.
Yeah. Well, early on, it was, asking me, I'm sure you're still tucked in bed, sleeping soundly. I'm up working on January 3rd. Or, the next day, I've already been sheriffing for about 4 hours today. Have you been working this weekend? Good night, sleep tight, we'll keep the county safe. So those are a few of the early emails.
You said you didn't feel like it was intimidation. What did you feel like it was?
I'm not sure what. I think, Sheriff Swank, has a kind of a bombastic personality and, shares his thoughts and opinions on X, and, quite often, and is someone who is just a very outspoken person. And I just felt like he was, a little bit perhaps, felt a certain type of way about me writing about the amount of time he spent on social media. And just, felt like showing me how much he works all the time and how diligent of a sheriff he is. And I think that he wanted to kind of push back on my reporting.
Our reporter, James Lynch, actually just spoke with Keith Swank. So this is going to be the first time that G gets a chance to hear this soundbite. But this is what the sheriff said regarding this. And you'll be hearing this now, Peter.
Well, I guess people could say whatever they want to say. Since January, I was sending them an email every day letting them know about my work hours. So you can review the emails. You should get a public disclosure request and see them. A couple of the emails, I even told them a story about my mom. So it wasn't harassment. People can say whatever they want to say. But nothing in there is harassing him, telling him to do anything at all. I'm giving him information that I find useful for his future stories about me. So I think it's quite the opposite of harassment. It's me being open and transparent and sharing with him.
Peter, your thoughts hearing that first?
Well, I mean, I would just say that, these are unprompted emails. I'm not reaching out to the sheriff and asking him about, how long he worked last week or today or, I don't know that I totally agree with his take on it. I think he just continues to email me kind of unnecessarily, but when I do reach out for questions about a story, he's, happy to talk and answers my questions. But these emails that we're talking about are not that.
So, Peter, we're talking about 70 plus emails, and of course, all the way up into an email just early this morning. And what do you think, in your opinion, what do you think the goal is with this? Do you think it's to wear you down so that you are more favorable in your reporting of him? Or do you just think, what do you think? What do you think the goal is?
It's a good question. And, I'm always cautious to give my opinion on stuff that's in the news as a reporter. But I mean, I do think that, by emailing me, he's, trying to, kind of chill the amount of coverage that he receives and just kind of make it so perhaps I won't want to continue writing, critical stories about, the top law enforcement officer in the county.
Do you worry about covering anything that has to involve the Pierce County Sheriff now that you have spoken about this?
I don't know. I've written critical stories about the sheriff and former sheriffs, plenty of times, and still, I'm happy to pick up the phone, and I'm going to continue to pick up the phone and give Sheriff Swank a call when a story concerns him, or want to press him for answers on something and want comment about an incident in Pierce County. I'm going to continue to do my job and, report on the sheriff fairly and accurately.
On a scale of 1 to 10, we're talking about the leader of law enforcement in Pierce County, the sheriff of Pierce County Sheriff's Department. On a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous are you with Keith Swank in these emails?
That's a good question. I'd put it at maybe a 5. I call Sheriff Swank and ask him difficult questions all the time. And I don't think this changes anything necessarily. I'm always happy to pick up the phone and give him a call, whatever he has to say.
I'm just going to say, Peter Talbot, first of all, thank you for joining us. And I know it is an awkward situation because you also have to cover him. I do know that in the editorial that was written in your newspaper, they said that they would consider, if this was involving a citizen, they would consider filing for a restraining order, but because he is the elected sheriff of Pierce County, that's not going to happen. But Peter, I appreciate, because we don't want you to also have to give your opinion in a situation where you also have to cover this, and you are now in the middle of a story, which is what no journalist wants to do. So appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That was Peter Talbot. I'm sorry that we got his name wrong, but
Ursula, this is where I get to lean on you for the question.
That's to me.
37 years you've been doing this.
I have
37 years.
Not heard of this where someone has been so overt about that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a sheriff that clearly marches to his own drummer, and I personally think that this is harassment. I think that he did not like the coverage that he had, and so he's going after this person. He's going after this journalist. And so what he's hoping is that he's going to get more favorable coverage. But I'm sorry, that's just so unprofessional. As a sheriff, I'd be embarrassed to work in that department if that's my sheriff.
I'll tell you what I'm grateful for. Technology. And I'm grateful for technology. I could only imagine if we didn't have technology today. Imagine if we didn't have the cameras today. This dude has sent 70 plus emails since January, and he just sent one this morning.
And don't you have more important things as the sheriff of Pierce County?
Like, think about that for a second. I mean, if there was no technology, I could only imagine what would be done. And he is blatant to just be like, okay, do a public records request. And he says that to our very own KIRO Newsradio. Anyways.
Yeah, well, we didn't need to because we had the person who was receiving those messages. Ernie in Kent says, this is harassment. You can call it whatever you want. If I texted Ursula every day and told her everything I was doing without her asking, what would you call that? She would eventually block me or tell me to stop bothering her.
Think about that for a second. I'm glad Ernie said that. If right now you, Ursula, got an email from someone for 70 emails, yes, that's going to be looked at. And you want to know who we'd probably call? You'd probably call law enforcement to help you get to the bottom of the situation. And the fact that law enforcement is on the end of sending those emails, it's just outrageous. But this is what happens when you know you can't get put out of your position because you were voted in.
253. Okay, there's always the one. Man, you guys hate Swank so much. He tells how it is. He tells it how it is. No, that's harassment. He doesn't beat around the bush.
Now, can I ask this one for everybody? If Peter were a woman, would you guys look at this different then? No, I'm being serious. If the sheriff was emailing a woman reporter 70 times since January, would people look at this different, or it's still it's still okay because he's telling it like it is?
I don't think it should be any different, right? And I know that you feel the same.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, hey, can we talk about something? I want to say lighter, but what's going on with the Seattle Mariners?
You know what, Ursula? I'm glad you asked me that. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
And everybody listening. Have you guys ever gone out on a first date when the first date was awkward?
Yes.
Okay. It's one of those.
It's usually not a second date,
right? But maybe you went through. It just was timing.
Yeah.
You know, they were laughing too hard. The timing and everything is just a little awkward. But that doesn't mean that in the future the chemistry won't be right. Well, that's the Mariners right now, Ursula. The month of April, it's a first date. Julio, Cal Raleigh, Josh Naylor.
All the big stars?
The timing's just not there.
Okay.
Now, if by date number 10, which is May, count May as the month, if things are still awkward then there's time to hey, what's the problem with these Mariners? The pitching is still good. The fans are still engaged. The expectation is still high. They're just struggling with the bats, Ursula.
But I'm wondering, is the expectation so high that it puts pressure, kind of like the whole Julio thing, when I asked the question infamously a few years ago when I said, hey, is he overpaid? Because, there was just maybe so much pressure and expectation. The Mariners had their best season.
Yeah.
And so now coming in, are we just expecting too much at the beginning?
No. Keep the expectations high. They're just right now struggling with the best. Let's check in with our good buddy Nick.
Yeah, Nick.
Talk to us.
And you mentioned that they're just going through the motions right now and trying to feel for what's right for them. And yeah, sure, the superstars are struggling right now, but let's put it in perspective here too. If one game goes by in a 17-game season for the Seattle Seahawks, that's, a little less than 7% of the season. Right now, the Mariners are 7 games into a 162-game season, which is around 4%. So in comparison, that's like the Seahawks in their first game at halftime and they're down, a touchdown or two. And if the fans were all freaking out, like, is this the end of the season? It's way too early to figure that out right now. So just let them go through the fields and let them, figure out how they're going to time up the pitches right again. And sure, I think expectations are changing the way they play this year, and maybe they have a little more weight on their shoulders, but that comes with adjustment. And I think throughout these next couple weeks, yeah, sure, if we go through April and they're still, struggling around 500 or less than that, I think that's the time to, start having another conversation. But it's very early right now.
Now, great point, Nick. Now, Ursula, now here is the thing. Like, because, these baseball...
people are saying it's way too early to be having this conversation.
No, it is. But something that we have talked about on this show, I don't know, I think you might have been out. Nick and I and Paul, we talked about this. The thing that is not great, okay, is that they're having this month. So, they're having these few days, really.
Okay, yeah, because
they're having these few days, right? And so there's a lot of people that start to wonder because remember, there was the whole little rift between Cal Raleigh and Randy Rosarina.
Oh.
And so there's people that's like wondering, like, hey, is everything okay? So the thing is
that the talk?
Oh, it's still the talk.
Oh, really?
So in order to put that talk away, to make sure everything's good, you got to see things are going right. So again, right now, it's just April 2nd. If we're struggling May 2nd, let's talk.
Yeah, let's hold off.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it also could become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like you start going down. Come on.
No doubt.
Well, we're choosing joy.
Choosing joy. Have we been doing a pretty good job?
We've had some things thrown at us today.
Yeah.
We tried.
Nick, we tried, man.
We choose joy, but, there's some things being thrown at the wall today, too.
All right. Time for Agree to Disagree. Do that next, Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes. Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that could make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right, tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Charlie Harger here. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 206-210-1350. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
The deadline for filing taxes is coming up. Donate your car to Cars for Kids for a 2026 tax deduction. Go to carsforkids.org today. That's cars with a K.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical, there's no beating CM Heating.
Many financial plans include some level of tax awareness. When retirement begins, considering taxes isn't enough. One overlooked tax decision can quietly cost families thousands over time. At Madrona Financial and CPAs, your plan isn't built around products. It's built around coordination. Licensed CPAs and experienced advisors working together, aligning investments, retirement income, and intergenerational planning using tax-efficient strategies. Madrona Financial and CPAs. Planning built on credentials. Madrona Financial Services is an SEC-registered investment advisor.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File today the easy way in the Credit Karma app.
Got a Tesla, EV, or hybrid that needs repairs or maintenance? Take it to the experts at A&M Auto Repair in Bellevue, the new dealer alternative for your EV or hybrid. Visit A&M Auto Repair at myevpros.com or call 425-96-EV-FIX.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
CBS News Special Report. A shakeup at the Department of Justice. President Trump fires Pam Bondi and appoints his former personal attorney, Todd Blanche, as acting head of the DOJ. CBS's Jerika Duncan reports.
The president just released through Truth Social a comment saying Pam Bondi is a great American patriot, a loyal friend who faithfully served as my attorney general over the past year.
But according to CBS's Jake Rosen,
we've seen a string of losses in court
and a string of refutals by judges across the country that have really negated a lot of what the Attorney General and the White House are attempting to do.
CBS's Nancy Cordes adds,
President Trump, we're told, was also frustrated by her handling of the Epstein case, which has really loomed large ever since the start of his presidency.
President Trump says Bondi will move to a role in the private sector to be announced at a later date in the near future. CBS News Special Report. I'm Jennifer Kuiper.
And I'm Jillian Raftery with KIRO News Radio. We're following a murder investigation in Puyallup. 2 people are dead in what appears to be some sort of fight between family members that spilled out onto the street. As I said, 2 people are dead. 1 is in the hospital. We will bring you more details as we get them. A 2-year-old boy was found wandering near a busy intersection in Silverdale today. The Kitsap County Sheriff's Department has him safely and are trying to find his family. The boy is dressed in a navy sweater with llamas on it and navy pants, but doesn't have any shoes. Call 911 if you have any information. We're going to get a photo up on mynorthwest.com. The president says Iran has been decimated and the war will be over soon. But that's not what CBS correspondent Holly Williams is hearing from Iran.
An Iranian spokesman also claimed that the US and Israel have not destroyed Iran's missile production centers, long-range attack drones and advanced air defense systems, asserting that they are in locations that the US and Israel cannot reach.
We're going to check your drive now. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, and we are looking pretty good. It's speed limit drive in most places. The only exception is I-5 north and south, just getting in and out of downtown Seattle. The slowing starts from about the West Seattle Bridge into downtown, but it's not crazy bumper to bumper yet. I-5 southbound starts from about the Lake City Way exit in Roosevelt, getting into Seattle through that Ship Canal zone. But the lake bridges are clear. Federal Way to Seattle, 25 minutes on I-5 in the northbound direction. Linwood to Seattle, 16 minutes. Linwood to Bellevue, 17 minutes. And Renton to Bellevue, 13 minutes. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows, plus $1,000 off whole home projects. 18 months, no payments, no interest. Ends April 15th. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. We are going to have a mixture of showers and sun throughout the day, high of 53. And I'm looking ahead. We've got a few sprinkles Friday, mostly sunny Saturday, and on Sunday, 63 and mostly sunny. It's 47 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
11:34. You're listening to the Gee and Ursula Show. Let's agree to disagree. Brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Okay, so this morning, Ursula and I were talking about if it would be possible to ever go on a micro trip. Things are so busy. Would you ever go somewhere really far for a very quick thing? And it reminded me, there's a content creator on TikTok that goes by Kevin Droniak, I think is his name, and he does this very frequently. So I want to play this clip to kind of give you an example of what this is.
You might not believe me, but Italy is a day trip from New York, and you're coming with me. So my flight lands in Rome at 7 a.m., and my flight back home is at 7 p.m., and I feel like that's more than enough time. My logic here is I'm going to bed anyway tonight, so why not sleep on an 8-hour flight and wake up in Italy? Buongiorno from the Coliseum. It is 9 a.m., and I have to get back to the airport in about 8 hours. And yeah, I'm having pizza for breakfast.
Oh,
so,
good grief.
Sounds a little wild, but he does it. I guess this is the thing that people are doing. Would you ever go on a micro trip?
Not to Italy. I love the idea of getting away for a weekend or for just packing a lot of things in at once. But the idea of flying, I don't know how long it is from New York, but let's say 8 hours, an 8-hour flight to go there, just see the sights very, very quickly, come back. I mean, not only is the ticket so humongously expensive, but it's not great for the environment if you're going to be doing it for that. That seems like a big fat waste. But let's say you didn't have to think about any cost or didn't have to think about what that would do to the environment if everyone did on these little micro trips. Yeah. Could you think of a place that you would want to go for that short amount of time? Just say.
Would you say 8 hours? That's not a short amount of time. 8 hours is not short.
I know, but would you want to do something like that? Let's just say cost wasn't an issue and the environment wasn't an issue.
No, I would not want to do it.
Yeah.
No. And first of all, influencers make my skin crawl.
And this one's doing it for the
That's what
clicks.
I'm saying. Like here's an example. So you have an influencer go to this restaurant and, oh my goodness, I just had the best avocado toast. I just took a bite. Let me take a bite. Hold on. Let me smell it. It's giving this kind of taste. Just eat the avocado toast. And the same thing with this flight. First of all, Kevin, flights are brutal on the body.
Yes, this is true.
Flights are brutal. An 8-hour flight is no joke. Jet lag is a real thing. So, Kevin, people that have jobs and have to be really good at their jobs, they're not just going to, let me just go to 8 hours real quick and then come on back just for the weekend. I'm going to go. No, this is ridiculous.
Unless you have a ton of money and you could just say, that's probably for some a flex.
These influencers are going out of style. Every time you see them on these food stuff, like, oh my goodness! You look at this avocado toast, and it takes them 3 minutes to take their first bite. Oh, just look at it. Just look at that. Oh, it's on the bread. And you know what? I had it, and I asked them to go ahead and toast it, and they toasted it just right. Hey, in the chat right now, tell me in the chat, how do you like your toast? Do you like it brown, medium brown?
The reality is, if I'm going to take an 8-hour trip, even a 5-hour trip, I would want at least a week. If I'm going international, let's say like the Philippines or like Italy, I want at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But if I were to have to do it just in a condensed amount of time, the city that I would do it would be Paris.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I was thinking that one too. Maybe it's because I watch too much Gossip Girl, but I'm like, 48 hours in Paris sounds perfect. Yes. I think that's good. But the thing is, Gee, I know you're getting pressed about the influencers, but this is their job. Like, would you not do it if you were getting paid?
No, I'm not doing it because they're the influencer.
Okay.
And okay, just go ahead.
No. What else are you gonna say?
I just don't think, because we have to be honest about what flights do to our bodies. Like, seriously. Like, when I go and I do just a 5-hour flight, when I go to Columbus, I'm exhausted. The flights, going through security, all that stuff, it's exhausting. Even if you're going to go down to San Francisco or L.A., quick deal. It's exhausting.
That's fair. But you only live once, right?
I know, exactly. Come on, Gee. We're just trying to have a little fun.
I'm going to talk about something that actually I think is up. Gee, this is up your alley, I think.
What do you got?
We're always talking about the importance of community, going places, being around others. But what about the beauty of being left the hell alone? Let's talk about it, because those who study communications and solitude call the balance between social time and solitude a healthy social biome. And actually, somewhere between 2003 and in 2019, we've seen a jump of the amount of time that people are spending time alone. And a lot of that has to do with those social media messages like protecting your peace or canceling your plan. And we're always talking about, the loneliness epidemic. But let's face it, as a Vox reporter pointed out, are you ever really by yourself anymore if you're accessible by text and email? So what do you think? Is being alone just as important as being connected to people?
Yes.
But Gee said he doesn't want to be on an island without Wi-Fi.
I know.
So
how do you find alone time?
So how you find alone time is and Ursula, hold on. I can't believe you don't know this about me. You're not going to put, what is it? You don't put baby in the corner. You don't tell me what to do, right?
Now, I know that about you.
When I get my alone time and I want my alone time, I have alone time. But I don't want to, if I'm going on an island, private island, okay, I put my phone away. I'm chilling right now. I get to relax. But I do think alone time, you don't know when my alone time happens? When I'm in the car.
Yeah.
I get a good alone time right there. I'll be just sitting there driving on I-5. What'd you think, Ursula?
I'm all about connection. But there are times when I absolutely feel drained and I covet that alone time. And so whether it's going on a walk or whether it's just spending a little more time in my car, not looking at my phone, because I always feel like that attachment to the phone is just, it elevates your blood pressure. It's always this feeling of anxiety. Okay, let's do the whole routine again of what all the different news sites that I have to look at to make sure I'm on top of things. And, it's constant. And so I guess the more and more I think about it, the more I crave that alone time, even though I'm a people person.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's overstated.
No, I think we need to talk about being alone way more. Like, I'm a social butterfly, but I need to be left alone.
Hey, Sophia.
Yeah.
Before we get going, Ernie and Kent wants to know that when you and your friends are together and you're getting ready to eat, is there anyone that says, "Camera, eat first"?
I feel very grateful that I don't have anyone who does that. We'll do it ironically. If it's really good, we'll be like, "Oh my gosh!" But usually, no one's saying that at all. We're more so, can you stop? Can you wait? Can you wait a moment for other people to get a bite? That's more so our vibe.
Ursula, do you ever take pictures of your food? Because I'll say this, I do it
all the time.
I do it all the time.
Well, because that's really your thing right now. But when I go to a restaurant that does an exquisite job of presentation, yes. Yeah. But you know what? I never post it. No. It's just sitting there on my phone.
Mine going to the family group chat. My family and I, we have a competition over who has the best meal, we have that.
Matter of fact, on my IG, I posted my dinner last night.
Nice. What was your dinner?
Bibimbap. Hey!
Bibimbap.
Come on now.
Okay, now.
On top of some quinoa. Life is good.
Okay.
All right, coming up next, text messages, feedback, and then Ursula's words to live by.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Hi, Sarah here with Safeway. We're proud to partner with Champions of Change co-founder Doug Baldwin to help nourish Washington students through the Nourishing Champions program.
Thanks, Sarah. And here's the reality. Every day, students across our state are staying after school for extracurriculars on empty stomachs, and some of them don't know where their next meal will come from. Food insecurity is reaching crisis levels, and the impact on our youth will extend far beyond this moment. The good news is that there's an answer in the federally funded after-school meals programs. But right now, Washington schools' participation is very low, reaching only 2% of the students who qualify.
That's where Nourishing Champions comes in. We're offering grants that not only fund food, but also resource and training support for the schools to offer an after-school meal program for years to come.
Our goal is to reach 10,000 more students in the first year of these grants and then grow from there. School staff can learn more and apply today at championsofchangefoundation.org and navigating to the Nourishing Champions tab. That's championsofchangefoundation.org and click on the Nourishing Champions tab.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Make this spring even sweeter with healthy saltwater soaks in a hot spring spa. During Olympic Sweet Spring Savings Event, save up to $3,000 on the hot tub of your dreams. Ends April 14th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you. better life.
April is a great time to grow your connection to nature. From native fir trees in your backyard to a thriving patch of flowers or a walk through your local arboretum, Sky Nursery supports your gardening journey with quality plants, supplies, and local knowledge. Visit skynursery.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text INVEST to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text INVEST to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text INVEST to 64,000.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Parango and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or AdvancedHair.com.
It's Gee and Ursula. Good morning, everybody. Oh, it's time for your text messages. Ursula, what you got?
Okay. Well, we talked about flock cameras, and JLV in Puyallup says, well, I don't like those cameras. This whole issue feels moot to me. In a public space, the law is clear that there's no expectation of privacy. This is why you can record cops or even take pictures of people at the park. I don't like that we're headed to a surveillance state, but what can you do, I guess? And then there's CH in the 206 says, I don't think anyone can argue against your point. The only thing is continued guardrail improvement, not elimination. I agree with that.
Hey,
exactly.
I like that. Continued. I like that.
I say they should be near schools and hospitals.
But I do disagree. Yeah, okay, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
If something happens to a student, it won't be known within hours, not days. Or it would be known within hours, not days. Correct. On PSC bills, Emily in Kirkland.
Emily in Kirkland said, I have the low income discount and the PSC bills are still out of control. This month is almost $600.
Yeah, we got a bunch of people saying similar things. Kevin in Black Diamond, for example. It's not only about low income earners. There are people who make decent money who have bills, who have mortgages, who are not considered low income, that are stretched just as tight. Mm-hmm. And then 425 says the basic customers are really getting screwed. My electric bill is 30 to 35% more expensive than a year ago. And how can we have a voice with the Utilities and Transportation Commission that rubber stamps all these increases? Remember what Todd said. That was a great interview.
By the way,
another great interview with Todd.
By the way, I messed up. Todd was supposed to get him to say diabolical.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't happen.
You tried, but he was like,
I was going to press him at the end.
Okay.
On Swink, Roger in University Place said, as a resident of Pierce County, I'm increasingly apprehensive about the possibility of having contact with him. If this is how he treats a reporter who's just doing his job, what would happen to me if I said something that bothered him?
CJ in Bothell says, the sheriff is... this story is just going to give him more motivation to act out. Okay, the fact that you would even have to say that is sad. Don't shine a light his way. Leave him in the dark and let him fade away. No, he's the Pierce County Sheriff.
Yeah, and Dave in Sonoma said, I don't know if it's harassment, but it does say something about the maturity level of the sheriff. If he's working hard and doing his job, he wouldn't even respond to this. All he's doing is attracting more attention than he needs.
I never forget, I was at someone's going away party, and they told me verbatim, they said, Gee, I know you didn't really have a liking of Ed Troyer, but when this new sheriff comes in, you're going to miss Ed Troyer. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, my opinion, Ed Troyer made mistakes, but he was a decent human being. Regarding alone time, Richard in the 206 says, back in the 70s, before cell phones and the internet, we would drive deep into Mexico for 2 months with essentially no contact with people back home. You have to do it to understand what a different experience that is. Wonderful. Allows you to actually be totally where you are, not just on a vacation. Now, I'm going to try that in my future.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice in theory, but
I know. I don't know if I can do
unrealistic.
2 months.
When I would visit family in Italy, like, it used to be no Wi-Fi, no internet, no phone connection. And as a kid, especially, you're like, what? Why are we like disconnected from the whole world? My parents would be like, enjoy the culture, be shut off. And I'd be like shuttered in the corner of my nona's house, and I'd be like, no internet, no connection to the world. I was like, I don't know about this. I don't know about this one. Nikki in the 253 said, I can't stress how much I'm looking forward to the 2.5-hour drive tomorrow to the Gorge on the way to an Airbnb house where the internet sucks and we get to actually enjoy game time with friends, the sauna house, the yoga room, and the tea room. I'm just literally disconnecting from the world and enjoying the sights of the Columbia River and Multnomah Falls
yeah.
right across the river.
Okay, Ursula, time for your words to live by.
Okay, what was our motto for today? We're
Joy.
choosing. Yeah. So Henry Newen says, joy does not simply happen to us. We have to choose joy and keep choosing it every single day.
Man, who sang that song? Joy and pain, sunshine and rain. Was that Jeffrey Osborne? I don't know who that was.
It sounds familiar.
Dang
yeah.
it.
I can't
Nick,
remember.
what do you got, man?
Well, it's not only gas that's adding up with extra juice, but electric bills we're seeing rise for lights and heat we use. So I'll take Todd Meyer's sound advice and time my grid supply and stay in the power loop at home without feeling too shy. But I'm cutting cords if anyone tries taking out their phone just to get a snapshot of their food, even when home alone. I guess at a restaurant, it's okay. I'll let it slide, but I never want to hear, let the camera eat first. I don't want to hear that.
Now, Ursula, tomorrow we have another guest on the show. First timer, too. We have the city prosecutor, right?
No, that is not tomorrow.
Is that next Friday?
That's next
That is
week.
next.
But you know what we
week.
do have tomorrow?
Flex Fridays?
Yeah, we do.
And Fresh Fridays?
I'm finally feeling well enough to get my, back into the gym.
Nice.
Woohoo.
Nice.
And who's going to join me?
Yeah.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
All right. Good stuff. Thanks, Ursula.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Yes.
Are you with us tomorrow, Summer?
I'm with you tomorrow.
Thanks, Nick.
You too,
Appreciate you, man.
That pause.
It was, hey, it was Maze. I knew Ernie and Kit would come through for me. Maze. Hey, the Jake and Spike show, they're coming in next. Yes, Rob Bass did it, but Rob Bass wasn't the original. It was Maze. All right. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. We'll do this again tomorrow. Be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into video only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
You didn't work hard to watch your retirement unravel. You saved, you sacrificed, you built something meaningful for yourself and for your family. Hi, I'm elder law attorney Rajiv Nagaich. I've seen what happens when unexpected health events collide with traditional retirement plans. Savings that took decades to build drains away faster than anyone expected. At LifePoint Law, we help you build a life plan to help you protect your assets and way of life. If you are retired or thinking about retiring, now is the time to double-check your retirement plan.
Retirement doesn't have to feel like a gamble. With straightforward planning and clear answers, LifePoint Law replaces fear with clarity, but only if you start now. Attend the next seminar this Saturday in Bothell, April 7th in Bremerton, the 9th in Olympia, or the 11th in Federal Way. Seats are limited. Sign up now at lifepointlaw.com. Visit lifepointlaw.com.
Every year, 4.5 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 visit the ER.
It's every parent's nightmare.
Umergency gives you all the tools you need to quickly and effectively manage your family's emergency. Umergency provides instant access to vital resources, customized to your student's campus and local community, digital consent form, and built-in urgent alert button. Umergency gives you peace of mind when you need it most. Download your Umergency app now.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about artificial intelligence.
I cannot answer that.
Many professions are using it, and allegedly some are even being taken over by it. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know police are leveraging AI, whether it's analyzing body cam footage, reading license plates, or even facial recognition. AI has become a helpful tool, enabling officers to work more efficiently. And efficiency for them means more people getting pulled over. You can't chat GPT your way out of a high BAC. Getting legal advice from AI is no substitute for an attorney. Use AI correctly, or it can result in trouble, like a self-driving car taking you home from a bar.
You have reached your destination.
So call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. If you get pulled over for DUI, the only thing you need your smart device to do is call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY!
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-3899. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518